Friday, 19th February 2021. Welcome. This is AM Ghana on Adoatv Television, coming to you live on your TVs in your house from the Atamels High Street in Accra. And Get Interactive. The show is also live on Facebook, Adoatv Ghana, and on YouTube, Adoatv GH. We are back again to serve you with the latest, the hottest, the most nutritious, all the current relevant information that you need to know. Of course, this is your best, your favorite breakfast show on television. My name is Francis Kusi. I am the Chairman Junior. Lots and lots of issues we'll be talking about today. Yesterday at the Supreme Court, yet again the petitioner has had another application thrown out or dismissed, and then also we'll be looking at the vetting process and what has been going on. Yesterday, the Minister Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsen, MP for Awutu Senya East in the Central Region, took her turn, and since yesterday, she has been enjoying some trends. Of course, the anticipation was that it was going to be a tough one. It was going to be an interesting one, especially for Hawa Kumsen when it gets to her turn with the vetting committee. And yes, she did make headlines, and so we'll be looking at that. And again, Honorable Kojo Opon Kroma, Minister Designate for Information and MP for the good people of Ofuasi Erebi, also took his turn with the vetting committee, and he also had some interesting stuff to say. And on the popular issue of LGBT and their supposed rights, he had something to say. He believes that stricter laws or regulations should be passed to even prohibit the advocacy for LGBT. The act itself is already criminal, but the advocacy, there should be a law prohibiting the advocacy and promoting the agenda of the LGBTQ group. So we'll be talking about that one also. And coronavirus in Ghana and around the world, that is also big on the agenda for today. We'll be looking at that and having several conversations. Of course, we'll be crossing borders to some other countries, like in DR Congo and other countries, to see the situation there, how coronavirus has been impacting on their lives. I've already mentioned the Supreme Court and all that. Albert Ego will bring us all the live, all the latest reports from there. And Dr. Dominic Ayene, cited for content and all that. So it's going to be an interesting show. Do well to stick and stay. AM Ghana on Adoatv TV is brought to you by Migo Purified Drinking Water, your preferred way to stay hydrated. Water is life. Water is life, and that's the more reason why you should be particular about which water that you drink or you take into your system. Make sure that the water you are taking in is hygienic enough, produced under strict hygienic conditions, and that is Migo Purified Drinking Water for you. So approved or certified by the Food and Drugs Authority. If you just take it, you should know that you are taking the best water on the market. It's MIGO. So you get the bottle, you look at it, and it's not MIGO spelled on it. You just forget it and ask for Migo. If you don't get Migo, you can drink any soft drink to hold on to your thirst until you get Migo, then you take that one. Then also Yaxen herbal products, Yaxen herbal soap for the treatment of all kinds of skin diseases, especially for the ladies. You see, these days it will shock you the points that your skin can earn for you. Now, your skin itself, it's a major point earner. So if you have a radiant, beautiful skin, you should know that then you have an advantage. Some extra points already earned for you. Your skin should be glowing, should be devoid of pimples and rashes and like some unpleasant smell and all that. And so get Yaxen herbal soap, Yaxen cold capsules for the treatment of piles. I always say that what piles can do to you, you go shock. It can make you get constipation. You just imagine a fine lady like that with all the attributes, all the nice qualities, and then you have a very big belly because constipation. You can't empty your bowels as often as possible, and then also the men as well. These days, most of the ladies, they don't really fancy the big belly, especially the ones that are caused by piles. If it is the money big belly, that is the sikafro, then the ladies are big on that. They enjoy that one. But if not sikafro and your stomach is big, then it's a minus for you. So get Yaxen cold capsules and get rid of piles in your system. And then also for the ladies, an extra bonus, it will prepare you and it will put things in order for you, so that when it's that time of the month, you will not be experiencing pains and discomfort. It will be smooth, it will flow nicely, and no one will even notice that it's there. And then also we have Yaksin natural capsules for the men. That is the able supporter, able helper for the men. You remember how Paul said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me in the Bible. Now in these are times for the men. If you want to also say or go the line of Paul and say you can also do all things through what you have been taking, then you should know that it should be Yaksin natural capsule. So if you take Yaksin natural capsules, you will be the Paul version. Then you can also do all things. You can finish whatever thing that you start. You know what I mean? So Yaksin natural capsules, the vitality, the energy, and you can go the extra mile, go all the way until the job is done. Then you earn your points, your vital points. Yaksin herbal mixture for the treatment of malaria and jaundice. Adoatv Roofing and Cookware also they are producing the most quality roofing sheet that you can find on the market these days. It's not just about the color, the brightness of the color. With Adoatv, of course, the colors are bright, very beautiful. So and then they are durable as well. So you buy color red, it's red that will take you to the end. If you buy blue, it's blue, no fading, and then also no rusting or corrosion. So you buy the roofing sheets, the long span roofing sheet and other types of roofing sheet from Adoatv, then you should know that you are really going to get value for money. They are beautiful and they are top quality as well. And the added bonus, if you buy Adoatv Roofing, then you should know that you will not be worrying your pretty head when it's raining or when you see the clouds gathering. Then your temper will begin to rise and your pressure will begin to go high, because you wouldn't know what might happen. If the storm set in, your roof might be ripped off and flying like a kite in the skies. But if it's from Adoatv Roofing, all these wahalas and all these troubles you'll not be going through. So purchase from them. And then also the cookware department, they produce cooking pots and cooking utensils in all sizes. So whatever thing that is necessary in the home to prepare meal or the kitchen wares and all that, go to Adoatv Cookware and you will get them. So these are our proud sponsors. The papers are here. We'll be doing the headlines any moment from now, but we'll go for a break. When we come back, we do the newspaper headlines and all these interesting conversations that I have introduced to you. We begin them proper. Francis Kusi, I am the legitimate heir to the chairmanship throne, the chairman junior. I'll be back after this 10.
Super na wanya pomuden se wo banu nso a hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water eye nso a yetu ni baby pa asaso ni so se kroje se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a wo see you manum super mega mineral water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na ye ede na nkabia ni atri mega purified mineral water bacteria na mhen wa bewrem eye very hygienic obia di wadanse mega mineral water neatly packaged for 500 ml bottles. Na wani boswa na ukon donsio wobenya mega purified mineral water to bebia to phone code dodo wa amount 40 per junction and now for 05070554009 and now 055392188 mega purified mineral water akona kono.
And that's when you sign. The Yaksin mixture, no and that's
ya brand malaria near would you be prepay? Ah, hey, Yaksin mixture near ocean one what you are. No, I'm young red. Wapas, chicken one. Yaksin mixture, Yaksin mixture, Yaksin mixture. So, and Fania grow. I want to no, Yaksin
malaria and quadia, no me yakse mixer. Now bet yes, king.
They won't any more about food. About my flower for. About flower when you feel and no murdering. Jackson Herbal Mixture, only size.
John, what's in you? Wow, Eddie, one boy, Juma. I check a roofing now. Oh, you fell one casa from Asatek. Oh, na same roofing is a baby bray, nice. Mind the catcher. Asatek roofing sheet today, and you're nice keke. With the board dance were a chee and rina chain. They want to call us a hood of a fair for the bray.
Go, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap and the running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and the running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092 57754 020 9494 258 or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Numun super na wanya pomuden. Se wo banu nsu a, hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water. Eye nsu a yetu ni baby pa. Asaso ni so se kroje. Se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a, wo see you manum super. Mega mineral water de edanso. Esan say the modern technology so na ye. Ede na nkabia ni atri. Mega purified mineral water. Bacteria na mhenu aberem. Eye very hygienic. Obiye di one dance. Mega mineral water neatly packaged for 500 ml bottles bottles mu na wani bosua na wokon donsio wobenya Migo purified mineral water to baby a to phone call dodowa amount 40 per junction and now for 050-7055-409 and now 055-392-1088 Migo purified mineral water akona kono.
Into the newspaper headlines and the daily graphic. I don't know, it seems a little lighter today. It's usually hefty, but today it's light. And comparing to the Ghanaian Times, today even the Ghanaian Times weighs or might weigh more than the daily graphic. I don't know if it's shortage of papers that they can, but this is not the usual daily graphic that we are used to. But the daily graphic I'm beginning with time bomb, school children take to drugs. Time bomb, school children take to drugs. More than third of students in junior and senior high schools in the country have experimented with different substances. A report by the Consultative Committee to Combat Drug Menace in Schools has found. Now this is worrying and this is not too good. This is not too good. So students taking to drugs. And more than a third, that is 36.4% actually. Wow. You can continue from page 3. The story begins on the front page, but the continuation is on page 3 of the daily graphic this morning. Retirement age debate. Experts express varied views. Retirement age debates. Experts express varied views. So it was the Boko Central MP, Honorable Mahama Ayarika, that raised this topic. So he proposed an increment or an adjustment upwards in the compulsory retirement age from 60 to 65, and it has been a topic for debate. So people have been expressing their views and all that. So experts have waded in with their views as well. See page 13. Then you can read that. I'm sure you also have your own idea if we should have an increment or anything like that. So get a copy of the daily guide and open to page 13. You can get details of that. I regret firing warning shots. Howard Kumsen apologizes. Page 23 has details of that. I regret firing warning shots. So yesterday at the vetting committee, when Honorable Howard Kumsen Mavis took her seat and she was being vetted, she was asked what might have provoked her to the level where she had to fire gun and all that. So she gave her reply, she gave her response, and I regret firing shots. Howard Kumsen apologizes. If you missed the vetting of Howard Kumsen, then you can get the daily graphic and go to page 23. You can read something at least on that, what she had to say during the vetting. Mahama fails in third attempt to cross-examine Jane Mensah. Mahama fails in third attempt to cross-examine Jane Mensah. That's also on page 13 from the Supreme Court yesterday. Another failure for Mahama, the petitioner, in his attempt to cross-examine the witness for the first respondent. The first respondent is the Electoral Commission. Then Madam Jane Mensah was supposed to be the witness. Now she has withdrawn. Several attempts made to get her into the witness box, and third time they have failed. Page 13 has details of that. There are some figures here. Okay, so this one is for the school children taken to drugs. The figures are here. 36.4%. We'll go to the back page and take some more stories, but we will be let's hit Zoom now. We have a special guest, a special conversation about coronavirus that we'll be doing. So we'll be crossing over and we'll be engaging our respondent or correspondent, and you see how that one is also going. So coronavirus has been taking a toll on the whole world, not only Ghana, the whole world actually. So we are trying to find out in other countries how the situation is and how they are faring. So let's go to Zoom and engage Elizabeth Quinn. Elizabeth Quinn from the US. Okay, so Elizabeth Quinn via Zoom, we have her. So hello, madam, good morning.
Elizabeth, yeah, you have to unmute your sound there.
Yes.
Good morning. It's
okay.
To be here. Good morning.
Yeah, we are happy to have you as well. Tell us something small about yourself so we know who we are speaking to.
So, as you said, my name is Elizabeth Quinn,
and
I'm from the UK.
UK, okay.
Yeah. And I live just north of the city of Portsmouth, which is on the south coast of England, in quite a rural area. I'm part of the Anglican Diocese of Portsmouth, and I'm a lay minister, which is like a catechist in Ghana, and I'm training to be a priest at the moment. And about 18 months ago, part of my training, I came to Ghana for it and was in Wyoso Diocese in the town of Awaso with the people there.
Okay, like with the Ghanaian names, I'm struggling to identify what exactly she says. Is it Tanoso? You say in Ghana you were Tanoso, where you were worshiping in Ghana?
I was in the town of Awaso in northwestern region and at St. Matthew's Anglican Church.
Okay, St. Matthew's Anglican Church. At least I've gotten that one. But for the town or the community there, we'll let that one skip. Me and Mantifi. So, well, tell us the situation of COVID-19 in UK. You said you're in Portsmouth, to be precise. So, in UK and in Portsmouth, what is the situation of COVID-19 there?
Well, it's been quite sort of varied over the last year, and it's had some increases and then decreases as we've had various lockdowns, and we're on at least our third lockdown now, which means that we have to be at home as much as possible. We're only allowed to go out if we've really got to go out, like for work, but most people have to work at home from their computers instead of going into the office or wherever. And but because of the lockdown, and we're getting some vaccinations now, the levels of the virus have started dropping again, but it got very, very serious in January, and the death rates were rising and so on. But things are beginning to improve again, but we're still in lockdown for quite some time yet.
Okay, so how long has it actually been that you've been on lockdown?
Well, we had limited access before in November, December, and then on the day after Christmas, we were really into lockdown then, and it's been very limited being able to go out and about since then. Okay, so since December, the day after Christmas, so that will be 26. So from the day after December, you've been on lockdown. Wow. So have you had a personal experience with this virus we are talking about, the COVID-19 virus? Have you had a personal experience? Well, personally, I've been very fortunate that I haven't had the virus, but family members have had it, and friends, and my mother-in-law, for instance, who was in a nursing home, and the rates of the virus were very high for the elderly, because she was very elderly, and she got it and was very ill, but actually she did survive and she got through it, which we couldn't believe. So that was a wonderful thing. But some of my friends, elderly friends, have unfortunately they've died. And what was very sad about that was at the moment it's very difficult visiting elderly loved ones in the care homes, and so they might not have seen their families actually in person for a long time, and then they get very ill. So it's a very difficult situation, very sad for them and their families.
Well, graciously, you haven't had a personal experience, but you have indicated that you've had close family relations having the virus and all that. But tell us, how was it with a close family member contracting the virus, and the signs and the symptoms, what you have to go through as a family member, and what that particular infected person also had to go through, and what it took for the person to be free at the end. Tell us something about that one.
Well, I think it can be at all different levels, because some family members just feel a little bit off colour, a little bit ill, but nothing much. And for others, obviously, they have to go to hospital and be in intensive care and for quite some time. For my particular family member that I'm talking about now, my mother-in-law, she fortunately didn't have to go into hospital, but she, felt very ill and had a bad cough, and just was very poorly in bed. But eventually, it started easing, and the symptoms eventually went away. But it took some time, and we at home, all her children around the country, were all very worried because we couldn't go and see her, thinking that maybe she probably wouldn't make it. But thank God that she did at that time. Yeah.
Well, for the universal protocols for COVID-19, universal safety protocols, the wearing of face masks, the frequent washing of hands, and the usage or application of hand sanitizers and all that. In Ghana here, and luckily you've been here before, so you might know what I'm talking about, we haven't had it easy. Sometimes it have to take the police and some personnel from the security agencies to enforce adherence to this particular protocols, the wearing of face masks and all that. In the UK, as you say you are, how has the response been from the public towards the protocols that has been laid down by the health authorities in the UK?
I would say that it's been a very positive response for most people. There are some people who don't want to have to comply with rules, but the majority of people really look out for the welfare of the whole country, and so they're willing to have to put up with masks and sanitizer and keeping a distance. And I think actually as the time over the last year, people have just got used to it and accepted it. So there's a very good majority response to caring for themselves and each other.
Yeah. All right then. Let's talk economy now. We can begin to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on the economy of the world at large. In Ghana here, we've had the government supporting some businesses with some amounts, and also as a means of sustaining some businesses and not allowing them to fold up or collapse. Some stimulus packages has been given out and all that. In the UK, has something like this been going on from the government, assisting or helping companies and businesses to help them stay afloat?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, quite early on in the pandemic, the government put in place for businesses like hospitality businesses, hotels and restaurants and pubs and so on, and where people couldn't work because they had those facilities were closed because of the virus. And obviously there wasn't any income for the businesses, so the government introduced a furlough system where they paid 80% of the wages for those who weren't allowed to go into work because the businesses were shut. So that's been a massive support in maintaining the businesses in the long term. And I think for small businesses that are really affected, there are grants, a lot of different types of grants of money they can apply for. But unfortunately, some businesses, you know, have gone under and haven't been able to stay afloat. But there has been a lot of support. But of course, that leaves you know, difficulties in the community and for individuals, and that's a really big thing to think about, how it affects people when they lose their jobs or if they lose their business, and the support that those people need in other ways as well as financial.
Okay, how about in the area of utility for the populace at large? Have you been receiving some freebies like electricity, water, and these other basic utilities that are necessary for survival or daily lives? Have there been a case where you've been allowed to not pay for these utilities as water and electricity?
Yes, there are all different ways that government departments support people who are in need. So they get regular financial support, which then would cover the bills of their utilities, as you say, the electricity and food and so on. Some people, it isn't enough. For some, it's really difficult to make that money stretch for all the things they've got to pay for. And so there are a lot of organisations, charities that also support, and something called a food bank. And there are lots of them all around the country where people donate food and then that food gets distributed to help people to make sure there's enough food on the table for the children and the families.
Well, how do these foods get distributed? Do you go to the communities and have the citizens lining up to come receive them, or how do you get them distributed to the citizens?
Well, for the food banks particularly, that the people in need are normally already supported by government workers, and so if the government workers see that they need some extra support, I think they get given a voucher, and then they can go along to a food bank, which does more than providing food. It sits down and it's an opportunity to support emotionally and to listen as the person tells their story, and also to give them pointers for other places they can go for help as well. So it's sort of a centre for lots more than giving food, but in that way then they get a 3-day package of food, to an emergency package to keep them going in the immediate, but then it's can be long-term support as well as necessary.
Okay, so it has become imperative for governments across the world to prevent imported cases of COVID-19 to the best of their strength and all that. So if you visit the various airports and seaports and other ports, land ports and all that, strict protocols have been set or put in place. And then also testing of COVID-19 from where you're coming from and before you enter the country that you're about to enter. They need to make sure that you are free from COVID-19. So various tests will be conducted and you have to pay. In Ghana, it was 150 negotiations have been going on. It has been reduced to 50 for ECOWAS states and all that. But in the UK, how much is the cost for testing, not only at the airports, but even in the UK, if you decide to walk into any laboratory, get yourself tested and all that for COVID-19, how much do you pay?
Okay, well, if I start where you started with people coming into the country, the latest initiative by the government is a very strict initiative where people who are coming in have to isolate in specific hotels for 2 weeks, and those people have to pay for that, and they have to pay for all the testing that goes with it while they're there, the COVID testing. So that has just come in the last couple of weeks. For people who live in the UK, we have the National Health Service, which I'm sure you're aware of, and that's something that we all pay our taxes into, but it's there for all people. You know, if they aren't able to pay tax, they're still allowed to have free medical care. You know, if they turn up at the hospital or at the doctor's, it's free at source. So from the virus vaccinations, that's free for everyone in the country who is a resident, a citizen of the country.
So since you mentioned the vaccination or that, have some vaccines already been procured in the UK? Have you started administering these doses of vaccination of COVID-19 in UK?
Yes. The government actually has had they've really been on it for for vaccination, and they've made a really excellent program of rollout for all the vaccines, different categories of people. So they started with the elderly, and most of the elderly population and the very, very vulnerable population who have very severe health conditions have been vaccinated already. And we are working through the different categories. So the slightly less elderly people are being vaccinated, and the slightly less vulnerable people are being vaccinated now if they've got long-term health conditions. And so that's what's happening at the moment. And the centres are great. There are a lot of volunteers who work at the centres for free, no money, and they really help out and welcome people. And it's made it all possible to have so many people vaccinated because of all the kindness of the volunteers, as well as what the government's organising.
But with the program for the vaccination, are there any groups or category of persons that are exempted from being vaccinated in the UK?
Well, we're not forced to have the vaccine. It is a free choice whether we have it or not, but everyone is very highly encouraged to have it. There are some people who, for very severe health reasons, might not be able to have it. And at the moment, it's not something that a lot of testing's been done on for children, for instance. So that testing is about to start to see whether it's safe for children to have it. But from the adult point of view, everyone is really encouraged to have it, unless for very severe health reasons that they can't. Some people are choosing not to have it because they're very worried and frightened by it, or they want to make their own choice. But the majority, it's very high uptake. Majority of people are having it.
Well, there have been instances where, especially in South Africa, where the vaccines don't seem to be having that great impact on the virus and all that. In the UK, since you've started with the vaccination program and all that, what has been the response so far?
Well, as you know, we've got different variants of the virus here now, and but we're still encouraged to have the vaccinations that have already been developed, because they still help to fight the different viruses. It doesn't mean you might not get one, but you wouldn't be as sick with it. It's still worth having. And they're obviously, the scientists are really working hard to develop the vaccines as well to cope with the new variants that are happening. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Thank you very much for your time with us, Madam. But since you mentioned that you are an Anglican, I believe this is the Lenten period. So I wish to say God's strength to you as you go through this period of Lenten.
Thank you very much, and to you and all the people of your beautiful country.
Yeah, we are grateful. We are grateful. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye. So, Elizabeth Quinn from the UK. Okay, so I said the US. She is from the UK and Portsmouth, to be precise. Portsmouth. I don't know if Reginald Robertson has been there, because she is more like a traveling ambassador. She has been to many places, met many people. I've never been to Portsmouth. Not been Portsmouth prison. UK, I've never been to the UK. But Reginald Robertson, the Morning Star, is here. Hello,
Yeah, morning. Good morning. Wonderful interview you had with Elizabeth Queen there. If you don't take it, then you change the name to sound Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, Elizabeth Queen.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so if there should be surname first.
Surname first.
Then it should be
Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
Okay.
I think her Queen is different.
Her Queen is different. Yeah, her Queen is spelled different, but it's pronounced Queen. So Queen, yeah. Queen is Queen.
So it's a wonderful conversation. Touching on Portsmouth and us travel to UK. UK is one country I dread to be.
You dread to be.
I have been yearning. I think last time I tried a UK visa, I was bound.
So, sad.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know who you are.
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
I think that with that particular credential, I didn't add my surname to it.
Oh, okay.
So maybe moving forward, I would have to just tell them like this.
You just stick to your surname because it opens doors.
That's it. So they'll be able to relate that. Yeah, he's one of us. He's just coming home. Yeah. But it's a wonderful interview.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be having some more conversations still on this issue, COVID-19, and its impact on the world and in the various countries that they are in, as we will be calling them. But in Ghana, now with the vaccines almost about to come in, it was by the end of March that we are expecting some vaccines to come in. And as we are engaging with Elizabeth Quinn, she did mention that some people have chosen not to take the vaccine because of fears or we don't know, but they have decided not to. But let's look at our own country, Ghana. If it should come, at least in the UK, we know that majority are taken. It will certainly be a few section of the people that are not taken. What do you feel might be the response to the vaccination if they come to Ghana and we start with the process of administering? Are we going to see a positive response where people will be eager to receive them, or we are going to have this, take your thing away, I'm not going to take it kind of response?
But thank you, Francis. But for what I've seen and the little conversation I've had with people in our various communities, especially those I've had a conversation with, I think last weekend I had the opportunity to be in Oda, Swedro and then Univa. It's just that people are scared of it, and there's this notion that the vaccines have been created by the whites to kill blacks. And it's affected the Ghanaian too. And then the Ghanaian feels that this is the reason why I don't want to take the vaccine, among other things. But let's look at the other side. The other side is that the whites that we are claiming that they are doing these vaccines to kill the blacks, some of them, like what Elizabeth Quinn said, do not want to take it for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them also fear to be there, and then fear to take it because they feel that if they go and take it, they might end up dying or whatever. They don't even have trust in the vaccines because the international best standards that vaccines take before it comes, these vaccines have not taken it. So they feel that so far as the international standards have not been met, there's no need for me to, how do you call it?
Put myself as a case study or a trial.
So they feel that it's a trial they are doing. So then the other part of the whites will say that then take it to Africa and go and use it then. The question and the notion is why bring it to Africa if you think it is not good for yourselves? But I trust in the Ghanaian government. I trust in the Ghana Health Service that, and as well as at a point that what is coming, the Ghana Standards Authority is also coming in because they have some clinical experts who would see to it that the vaccines and the dosage and whatever it meets the standard. And I think that what is coming in is coming from Oxford and it's coming from the UK. We should trust and believe that it's going to do a good work. For instance, but for me, if you look at what the vaccine is able to do, it reduces spread. They're not saying that you won't have COVID again when you take it, or it makes you immune. No, it just keeps you one way or the other a bit safer. You're not able to spread it. And then when you finally even have COVID, the weakening of the immune system and what have you would not be that dire like it used to be if you don't have the vaccine in your system. We have people that have taken shots of the vaccine, still recorded COVID-19
tested
cases.
positive.
Yes.
After taking the
vaccine. So it should tell you that it is not 100% guarantee that when you do, you won't have it. People, now we have anti-malaria drug. You know that if you take anti-malaria drug, it is not that in entirely for your whole life, you won't have malaria. but for a period. So I know people that when they're coming to Africa from probably the European countries, they take in anti-malaria drug to see to it that maybe the expose of mosquitoes will not make them have, like the type of malaria we have is a bit different. The type of mosquitoes here we have is different from what we have in Europe, thanks to the few countries.
African mosquitoes are different from the European mosquitoes.
Yeah, because of look at the classes of mosquitoes and then where the tropical location we find ourselves in. So even in terms of being insects and what have you, it's different ball game altogether. Though we have classes and family of insects and then classes and family of mosquitoes, what we have now is very different than what they have there. And what we find ourselves to be having in Africa seems to be deadlier than what they have in Europe. So the best thing they have to do is to protect themselves. Fortunately, in Ghana, we have some drugs that are anti-malaria drugs that people can just go in. That is what even led to some gradually having there's this cream they smell of and then on your skin.
Okay. Mosquito repellent. Yeah, mosquito repellent. So, I was about to mention the name of a product that I know. I
just wanted to get a name. It's
mosquito repellent.
So this is what has come in. So as a result, all these ones are anti-malaria products or drugs that you can take or products that you can use to see to it that you don't get malaria. And the way we treat malaria, and it has come a household name, and then we are staying with it. I feel that we would get to a time whereby, back in secondary school, when you go and say mention 6 killer diseases, and you're unable to mention, do beat you. My seniors will beat you. So when I went to dance school, big thing that was taught the 6 killer diseases. All the time I had 4. I'll be able to mention. I think that's top of my head. I'll be able to mention measles. I'll be able to mention malaria. I'll be able to mention cholera. And then I think I've left one more out. I used to remember 4.
Up to now, I can only mention 3.
I used to mention 4. Now, I'm sure that if somebody should ask you to mention 6 killer diseases, COVID-19, coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 will definitely be one of the things you are going to cite. We would have to live with it. So when the vaccines finally land, I probably would enthuse each and every Ghanaian that we should subscribe ourselves to it. But the worry here is the dose that is coming in, the quantum coming in. It is going to mitigate for just about 20% of the total population. How then is the distribution going to be made? Is it going to be the normal syndrome? The rich will keep on having their way and then the poor will still be deprived. But if it comes and then there's even distribution of the vaccine, I'm sure with this 20%, we should know how we are going to segment it. But trust me, when it comes, they're going to start regulating it from family, from the presidency, government, blah, blah,
coming
blah,
down.
blah, blah, coming down. And that alone, I'm sure their number alone can even constitute the 20% before it even comes to the rest of the population there. So let's pray that the other dose will be coming in. We need to have it. Like now, it is rampant in US and then in the UK. That even working, I think that you just go to any pharmacy, big up like any big pharmacies, and then you're just going to take a shot for the vaccines, and then you're done. That is the level we hope that we'll get to. That I just walk into any pharmacy and then there's a vaccine.
Get the shot of the vaccine.
Yes, and it is free.
It comes in 2 doses. Yeah.
2 doses.
You take 1 dose, then you come back another time for.
It's free.
It's free
in some. I think in US. I can speak for US. It's free in US because I know my cousins in Dallas and Texas have attributed that it's free.
Well, let's go ahead with the newspaper headlines. And I have already said it's going to be lots and lots of interviews and conversations, Zoom engagements and all that on the show today. But we are done with Elizabeth Quinn from the UK. I'll continue with the Daily Graphic. Okay, so I will start with the front page stories. I regret firing shots after that. Let's go to the back page. 2 dead, 15 injured in another Bupe Tamale highway crash. 2 dead, 15 injured in another Bupe Tamale highway crash. I remember when Kwesi Akwanta, Minister Designate for Roads and Highway, was having his turn during the vetting. Honorable Haruna Idrisu asked him how they are going to strictly ensure or enforce
Francis,
the road safety.
let me slide in this one quickly. I said that I've been wishing to go to
the UK,
and I've been having difficulties since. So I
had a response from there.
Queen has said that she's willing to assist the gentleman who wants to come and visit.
Wow.
And then she's willing to do that. So big ups to Uncle Reginald for getting Queen on the line today. The big ups to Uncle Reginald too for sending the message to the platform. The big ups to you for asking me the
since we are here, when you're going, you don't have to leave me here. At least I'll hold your back.
Yes. Big ups to you for just
asking that one.
Asking that particular person who have been there.
That's brought about this.
See, when I come in, I speak truth. They think that probably is another way. I said I've not been there before. It's truth.
It is the truth.
God, I've been wishing to be there since, and alas, thanks be to God.
Thanks to Madam Elizabeth Queen.
Yes.
I'm
so grateful.
Blessings in the COVID-19 era. Yes. So we are grateful for that one. So to that, and I was talking about the response that Kwesi Amoah-Akwata, Minister Designate for Roads and Highways, gave to Honorable Haruna Idrisu when he was asked how best he's going to enforce the road safety rules and laws and all that. And actually, when it comes to the darkness on our highways, especially when you are traveling in the night, no lights along the road and all that, he said it was the job of the Energy Ministry to provide lights on the ways and all that. So let's see. Hopefully there's going to be lights planted along the highway so that the darkness will reduce and possibly these accidents will reduce. So another one in the Bupe-Tamale Highway and 2 dead, 15 injured. National Blood Bank launches application to increase blood stock. Let's take some sports stories now at the penultimate page. Satellites out to devour Morocco. Satellites. The national under-20 side, Black Satellites, will go into their second African Under-20 Cup of Nations game today against Morocco. So in the first game, they beat Tanzania by 4-0. It was a positive one. Let's hope and pray that that form continues and it won't be a different story today as they play against Morocco. Benjamin Aloma is there in the squad. The number 3 for the side, the Black Stars, the Black Satellites. I'm talking about Benjamin Aloma. So good luck to you and to the entire team. You have our prayers behind you. So, Reginald, that will do for the daily graphic.
Now let's move to the Daily Guide, Ghana's favorite newspaper. This one says that Rawlings's family thank Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. So we have a picture of the president addressing the family of the former president George Rawlings at the Jubilee House in Accra. And the shot I have can see my very good friend Honorable Zenato Ajiman Rawlings. And I have the former first lady as well as the widow of the former president Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings. Also here at the front page of the newspaper. Story continues on page 6. And elsewhere, it says that Mahama review dismissed. The Supreme Court yesterday unanimously dismissed an application filed by former President John Dramani Mahama, which was seeking the court to review its decision not to order the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jenadu Mensah, to enter the witness box and be cross-examined. A 9-member panel of the court presided over Chief Justice Enin Yeboah held that the application failed to demonstrate that the existed exceptional circumstances that occasioned a miscarriage of justice through its earlier ruling, which was given by 7 judges in the ongoing presidential petition. Story continues on page 3 of the newspaper. Yesterday, it was really an interesting time in court yesterday when the 9 justices really seek to engage Chachu on the review application that the court has been constituted for that particular reason. And then as I like the fact that virtually almost about all 9 of them. This one's not like that time that maybe just about 7 or maybe 6 of them. This one is all 9 of them engaging Chachu on the understanding of what really the application was seeking or sought to do. And then why the review. I'm sure that people will also be calling that next time that a review is filed, maybe they change the entire justices on the case. Yeah. Not that they'll put the very 7 and then go and add 2. So if there should be another review on this particular ruling, they just going to add an additional 2 to the 9.
To make it 11.
Until we get to the threshold that they've used. And so if we have means of using others, like now, it's not like we have over 15 justices now. I understand. I stand to be corrected. So we have our 15 currently. So even if 7, we can change and then bring another 7 or another set of 9, and then we'll see how the ruling goes. That's what the school of public opinion is looking out for. But I'm sure in the course of time, when we have the chance,
can that happen? Can we have 2 different sets of justices adjudicating the same case?
What we are saying is that I'm yet to get that understanding. Okay. So when we get the lawyers on that, hopefully today,
we can be able to know
that if there's a ruling has been given, and then we are appealing for a review at the apex court. Is it appropriate, or can you say that I would rather prefer
different set of judges
of justices who will come and sit on the review application rather than the same? Because for all you know, maybe their minds will not for you, maybe their minds will not change from it. So I don't know. Maybe when we get to our lawyer friends on the line, we will give us that much more clarity. Supreme Court cites Ahining for contempt. Yesterday, it's not all the part of the court proceedings that we had the opportunity to watch. It is emerging that the Supreme Court has initiated contempt of court proceedings against the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ahining, for a comment he passed against the judge sitting on the ongoing presidential petition filed by John Dramani Mahama. The court registry is said to have dispatched a summons to Dr. Ahining, who is the NDC MP for Lugatanga East, but it is unclear if they had been able to serve him with the quasi-criminal process. Last Thursday, after the court held that the petitioner could not reopen his case, Dr. Ahining said specifically that the judge had a predetermined agenda against the former president, and he did not understand why the court dismissed Mahama's application to reopen his case to enable them to subpoena the Electoral Commission boss, Madam Jane Mensah, who was the returning officer for the December 7, 2020 presidential ballot. Speaking as a spokesperson for the petition after the hearing in Accra, Dr. Ahining accused the highest court of reducing the 4 or 5 issues in its own words set for determination of the petition to just an issue. There are all German issues under the laws of Ghana, and to reduce the petition into a single issue petition is rather unfortunate, and it smacks of a predetermined agenda to rule against the petitioner in the matter, he said. Court question. Supreme Court asks itself a question which we deemed as a wrong question and answer that question. It asks why the chairperson was needed to account to the people of Ghana when she was not a party to the suit. Now, you would recall that counsel made it very clear that one of the reasons why we are in court is because of the constitutional conduct of Mrs. Mensah as the returning officer under the Constitution, and it is not true that it was only an issue that needs to be determined in this matter, he said. It continues, blah, 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 there. And then government announces vaccines rollout, stories on page 6. The back page of the Daily Guide has some stories concerning sports. Grab a copy, read further into it. Francis, I'm done.
Yeah, okay. So I'll take the New Crusading Guide. So from the Daily Guide, the New Crusading Guide, we continue to be guided this morning. Yeah. You failed to satisfy us, SC to Mahama lawyers on review application. So the Supreme Court to Mahama lawyers on review application, you failed to satisfy us. See pages 3 and 10 for details of that one. Electrochem empowers Ada residents, builds 12 community pans along Songo Lagoon. Electrochem. Okay, since we are in Ada, let me say a very good morning to Honorable Comfordoyo. She is the Member of Parliament for the Adan constituency. We are friends. She might not know we are friends, but at least from my side, she's my friend. So, let me take this one. Ghana donates election materials to Niger. We are very grateful. Rawlins's family to Akufo-Addo. Rawlins's family appreciates Akufo-Addo. So, the family of late former President Jerry John Rawlins actually visited the president yesterday to show their appreciation. Group fights Ochere Dakon's nomination as Western Regional Minister. Petitions Appointment Committee. Group fights Ochere Dakon's nomination as Western Regional Minister. Petitions Appointments Committee. Let's see some sports stories. Australian Open, Serena Williams leaves news conference in tears after Naomi Osaka loss. Serena Williams leaves news conference in tears after Naomi Osaka loss. What could that mean? Are they good friends like that? So Naomi Osaka lost and Serena Williams had to leave a news conference in tears, crying. Black Stars break camp after 4 days of training. Yao Preko confirmed as Great Olympics assistant coach. Okay, so these are some sports stories in the new Crusading Guide. Get a copy and read them.
On issues concerning the vaccines that we're talking about, Kudropong Kuma has announced that the vaccine will be rolling out soon. Yesterday, when they were taking a stand at the vetting process, a fantastic delivery he did yesterday. We have to say that. I think that Opong Kuma never disappoints. He never disappoints. Congratulations to him, anyways. I'm just looking forward that the committee would bless him at round 2 for Minister of Information.
Certainly.
Yes, I think that I am journalistic bias towards Kojo Oponi Nkrumah. I really can't fault him, even if it's wrong.
You can't fault him. Well, even those of us who are neutral, I mean, from his responses during the vetting and all that, and how he performed in the last administration, man, what could go wrong for him? What reason or what grounds would the committee or parliament, for that matter, have to disqualify him or not to approve him? I mean,
yesterday, after our committee came to water the grounds, he came back to solidify the ground.
Our committee was the John the Baptist,
preparing the forerunner. Forerunner, thank you. In fact, why
I know the Bible. You see, I mentioned John the Baptist, Jesus Christ.
Yes, it's the forerunner. Yes. That's how we describe it. Forerunner. He came to prepare the
forerunner. You know the car forerunner.
They have forerunner car, but this one we talk of forerunner.
Forerunner person. This is a forerunner person.
Before the runner itself comes, so you're coming ahead of the runner.
Okay, someone who runs before the runner.
Before the runner, yeah.
Okay.
So our Kumsing came before. So I think that kudos to Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah. This is what we share in common with.
Honorable Kojo Opon.
Yes.
Okay.
The fact that I went to Akimodan, and then I can pass Akimodan to a brim to Afonsa Yiribi. We used to go and buy palm monot oil there when they are coming to Accra.
From Afonsa Yiribi? They produce palm nut oil
a lot, in large quantities. So you go there and buy palm nut oil, and then you bring them to Accra. So back in the time, the little business we were doing, that we export palm nut oil from Afonsa Yiribi through order to Accra. It was there, and also I think that when it comes to the palm nut settings, that is what we share in common. But we don't share political ideologies in common. That one.
Only the palm nut settings.
It's only the palm nut setting. The fact that I'm partly Akimoda and he's also fully of Fonse Ayiribi.
So when you have a chance to sit and discuss with him, it will be a discussion centered on palm nut oil.
Straight on palm oil. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes.
Okay.
I know that Selassie will be doubting it, but it's understandable if he doubts it. But at the end of the day, it is all about palm nuts that we are going to talk about. All right, let's move to the most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. Chaos in Accra City Centre as traders capture street, pavements, disregard COVID-19 protocols. I've been saying this as the mayor of Accra is not up to the game. Gone in the days of Honorable Alfred Oko Vanderpoy, when he was mayor of Accra, you could see the red markings on the pavement at our major city centers, as well as the market centers in Greater Accra, the metropolis under him. Now we have a new mayor that was appointed somewhere in 2017 by His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, and his name is Mohamed Ajesua. For me, I said that it's not up to the game. Since Akufo-Addo, quote and unquote, has won a second term, Your Excellency, please change the mayor of Accra. We prefer you giving it to Honorable Reginald Mibi Ayi Bonte. We feel that he's a grassroots man and he can do the job better. Look at the chaos that is in front of the newspaper. Chaos. This one, look at it. And one very alarming thing is that there is total disregard for COVID-19 protocols. Total disregard. The nose mask they won't wear. The hand sanitizer they won't use. The social distancing they won't do it. And there is human traffic on a pavement. That is where people are supposed to ply.
That is the biggest issue. the biggest, the human traffic. The human traffic, it's serious. That's why.
And you know that this traffic, one way or the other, even affects vehicular movement because some of them are by the shoulders of the road. So where there's supposed to be a natural bus stop, we have traders occupying the place. Meanwhile, the market centers are deafening silent. They are quiet. They want people to come and settle in there. We just need leadership to move the people from the roadside and take them to the market centers. It is simple leadership. It is not government policies or whatever be the case. It is leadership. And when it comes to Ajesoa as mayor of Accra, he's failed on this particular test. Accra keeps on becoming dirty. The stench in some areas in Accra. And then talk of it, this chaos, this issue. Anytime I talk about AME matter, I become too much sentimental about it.
Maybe we should have him on the show. One of these
He
days, so
will not even
him.
respond to your calls. And his people know. They know what I'm capable of doing to them. I've brought them under some straight baptism of fire before some time in the past. So they know what I'm capable of doing to them. Good morning to my friends at AME anyways. Let's go to page 3. Drivers meet in trouble for defiling 6-year-old girl. Drivers meet in trouble for defiling a 6-year-old girl. I don't know why those issues of defilement is coming in. Francis, it could surprise you that some few days ago, a immigration officer saw a lady who is about 12 years. That is what I am picking, information I'm picking from the community, Jamestown community. Picked the lady and then claimed the lady was not wearing a nose mask. So he arrested the lady. And then the immigration officer placed an handcuff on the lady and took the lady somewhere and went to defile this lady. Or the lady is not wearing a nose mask. If you've arrested a person, that the person is not wearing a nose mask, where do you take the person to? This is not the nearest police station, but you put the person behind your motorbike, take the person to an obscured area, and go and have your way with the lady. We are yet to have facts on this particular issue, but it is alleged. When I get facts, I'm going to roll it out to you. And trust me, I am going to have an interview too with the victim, allegedly. Hopefully. So on Monday when we come, there'll be a lot today just on concerning this particular defilement issue in Jamestown. But we should not use this EI restrictions of wearing nose masks and then to put the laws in our own hands. You realize that the police council also said recently that those that have been taking spot fines of about 200 to 500 cedis, it is not illegal. The spot fine aspect of the EI has not been enforced yet.
So you haven't settled on a specific amount to be charged.
To be charged, you get it. But sometimes, but I even have questions with the EI. How much do people even earn? And then you put that if somebody is not wearing nose mask, they are going to pay almost about close to 10,000 Ghana cedis, or even you are even paying 5,000 Ghana cedis
for not wearing a nose mask that costs 1 cedi.
How much is the person having? You see, there was a time I went to the Kaneshi police station and a guy has been arrested for not wearing nose mask. Otefem. I said, Commander, mama mempra. In some mama na kapre minibi. After mbabe hustle. I'm a pebikra midi. And Commander, whatever you do, I'm here. I felt the plight of the guy because the guy has given up on life. And you want to put him into consideration because of not wearing nose masks. Someone cannot afford the 1 cedi. Francis, I have traveled extensively. It's not that 1 cedi, just 1 cedi, common 1 cedi. I have lived in vicinities in Ghana. That's when you give people 2 Ghana cedis, they thank you forever.
You become their god for the day.
I tell you. Anyway, I think I got our friend from Kenya is on the line. Hopefully.
It's not ready. It's not ready. Yeah, okay.
So when our friend from Kenya is on the line, we'll go back and then talk to him there. And the next story is that EC boss can't testify. Supreme Court dismisses review motion. Stories on page 15. Akufo-Addo congratulates the new World Trade Organization boss. His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has congratulated the new World Trade Organization boss, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And I think that the congratulations is in order, they say. Congratulations is in order, they say. At the back page of the most authoritative newspaper, it's a tough Morocco's test for satellites. Tough Morocco test for satellites. And then the Ghana Water Company Limited ration water in Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis. So those of you that are at the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis gets to know that, for instance, look at the picture. See where they are standing by the dam. If I was part of this particular team, I think I'll be the one behind.
Is this Akosombo?
No. This is the treatment plant at Daboase.
Daboase.
Okay. I think it's in Sekondi Takoradi. Yeah. taking it aquatic. If I was to be there, I'll be standing behind them.
Wow.
Because I can't be here.
You're afraid of heights?
No. It's not I'm not afraid of heights, but I can't be here. I can't be. I'm not Salasi. I can't be. That is all for the most authoritative newspaper. Grab a copy, read for that into it.
Okay, so I have the Daily Statesman, but let's remind you that we will be speaking to 2 more people via Zoom from the Democratic Republic of Congo and then Kenya. So still on COVID-19 and the impact that they have been having on their respective countries. So from the Democratic Republic of Congo, we have Henry Kosa. I don't know if I got the name right, but we'll get him and then he can correct me if I got it wrong. And then from Kenya, we have Nicholas Pandey. So we'll be engaging them on the show via Zoom to speak to them on COVID-19 and its impact on their respective countries. I understand they are on the line now. Both of them, the 2 at a time. Nicholas Pandey from Kenya and Henry Kosa from Democratic Republic of Congo. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Good morning to you.
Okay, so I'm watching you on the screens and I don't know which one is from DR Congo and which one is from Kenya. But okay, let me start with you, sir, wearing a blue shirt.
Okay, I'm from DR Congo. I'm calling by Henry Kausa.
Kausa. Okay, so it's Kausa. Kiausa. Okay, I said Kosa, but it's not it's Kiausa. So Henry Kiausa from DR Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. And okay, so Henry Kiausa. Okay, so Reginald Robertson is with me here in the studio. So he's going to engage you. Okay, I think we've lost him. But
hello. Okay.
Yeah, we've lost him, but
so when he comes
back, if he comes back, then okay, he's back. Henry Kiausa.
Henry's from Kenya.
He's from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah.
All right. Henry, how are you doing? I love your blue shirt, anyways.
Really? Thank you. Going well. We are very well. This last time we are quiet. There is no some things we want to tell who can be for. But I want to say some things. I'm Frenchman. I try to speak in English, and you make effort to understand my idea.
Don't worry, we'll do. Because like ourselves, I parle français petit, écoute français petit. Not plenty. So we'll do well to cope and then understand. All right. But how is COVID-19 treating you? I think that where I find myself in Ghana, I have not been spared from the economic hardship, from the effects of humanity, among other things. But maybe your story might be different. How is COVID-19 treating you, Henry?
Yeah, so in DR Congo, that desires for the people is imagine it comes from white people who imagine some things in a laboratory and put it in population. And the impact is today, everyone not work like usually. We are locked down from March last time, and we are on lockdown in December. Now the economic situation is very, very, very bad. And our population not work like usually.
But when you talk about it could, go ahead.
And on economic plan, we are see a lot of company, factories close, economic crisis who come with this COVID-19. And you see our fruitfulness don't have work, don't have money, and we assist to the violence in family, who father and money. Yeah.
Okay. I think that one challenge that we begin to perceive anytime an African country is mentioned in relation to COVID-19 is poverty. That is part and parcel of us, and food scarcity. What has been this issue in DR Congo, dealing with COVID-19 in the face of poverty and food scarcity?
Yeah, that I say. In Congo we are one of poorest country in the world. And you see with the issues of this COVID is to see we are living with $1 per day, but there is no $1 for the people, because factory is closed, because we don't have dollar who come from Europe, from United States, but the customer, the border is closed. There is no moving of people. You see that there is no money in DR Congo, and the people are down, very, very, very down.
How have the people been managing? There's been COVID-19 relief items being given in Ghana, some food stuff in the period of lockdown, and what have you. But in your situation, I dread if that would be the same. Do you have relief items? Do you have food being given to the very poor, to the very vulnerable in your communities?
Yes, we are, like in Anglican Church of Congo, we are mobilizing some money for who are very vulnerable, and we are mobilizing some money to bring food, to bring rice and beans, and we dispatch for who are very, very vulnerable.
Okay, Henry, let me hold on to you and let me go to Kenyan. And then let me speak to my Kenyan friend, Nicholas, who is also in Kenya. Hi, Nick. How are you doing?
How are you, my brother? How are you?
I'm fantastic. Kenyans are noted to be athletes. They run and do a lot of athletics. What do you do as your discipline, anyway, in your hobby?
In Kenya we do many things. Mine mostly is not athletics, but I play volleyball.
Okay, that's fantastic. It's an interesting game. I do long tennis myself. The next time I come to Kenya, we'll find some time and have some nice games over there. But how are you doing? How is Kenya in these times of COVID? People are really trying hard to pick up. Like if you were paying attention with my conversation with Henry, it seems they are really, really, really suffering with COVID-19. What is your case in Kenya?
Kenya is not spared from the rest of the world when it comes to this pandemic. Kenya reported our first case sometime in 13th March last year. And up to now, 104,000 people have been infected by COVID. 85,000 of them have recovered, a good percentage of that. Though we have had mortalities, around 1,800 people have succumbed to COVID. What again I've seen in the health impacts of this is that I don't know whether it is the immunity landscape through which this virus found in Africa and maybe in Kenya, because last year we had asymptomatic cases of up to 85%. Early this year, it's now gone to 93%. So it means that the numbers I'm giving as infections, those are the ones that exhibited symptoms. So likely the local transmission have been high because up to 93% of COVID infections are asymptomatic in Kenya up to now. So it's been something, of course, as any other country, the measures that were put by the government, the protocols on sanitation, and the restrictions of movement, the restrictions of public gatherings. So that was put in place. And to appreciate that came with its own socioeconomic constraints, because you are in a country where people a vast majority really depend on wage, the daily wage. And so it means that when they are unable to go to their workplaces, then they are unable to get that which they need to support their families. So that happened for months, but then the pressure built that the government needed to open up the country to allow some economic activities to go on. And that opening came. So there was a bit of opening in around September last year, because again, the COVID situation in Kenya has had a bit of a trend in which that at some point it spiked, like between June and August. Last year we had a spike which peaked in August, then it went down in September. It came back again between October and December. It peaked in mid-November, but since early December up to now, actually the COVID cases in Kenya have gone down. Currently, we are having an average infection. Within 7 days, we are having 180 cases. And the positivity rate fluctuates between 6 to 15%. So that is since mid-December last year.
But that means that you have some systems that you are working with that it seems to be working for you. Because if these spike rates keeps fluctuating and the recent situation that look better than what was in June, what is government doing right? What is the level of adherence, or what measures of testing and treatment and surveillance routine have been put in place in Kenya?
Yeah, I think we'll really appreciate the efforts that were put by the government, because the government was strict at first that there had to be sanitation at all public facilities. In public transport, the capacity of public transport, the buses, the trains was reduced to 60%. And then you had every public place there is sanitation, either through sanitizers, the alcohol-based sanitizers, or the hand washing through water and soap. The social distancing was such a thing that everyone has adhered to, all the public spaces. But also the government of Kenya had contact tracing. I think that helped, that when somebody tested positive, then they were not the only people who were taken in. The government went to look at all the contacts they had. So it somehow managed to contain the transmission. And that when somebody was traced to a particular activity that had the potential of further community transmission, they were brought, and all the people they had interacted with were actually brought into quarantine. And of course, the travel restrictions that there were not to, the airport was closed. It was opened in early August. After now, they put in measures that requires that the people who are traveling, the international travelers, will need to have a COVID-19 negative test before then they'll come into the country.
Has it gone in to reduce the level of your imported cases with these measures at the airports in specific?
Really, yeah. Right now, I think we are barely reporting any imported cases. We are just reporting local transmissions. Yeah, the cases we are having currently are just local transmissions. The imported cases are now almost at zero because everyone is coming with a negative COVID test.
Okay, that's a good job you are doing in Kenya there. Now, let me go straight to DR Congo. I'll come back to you, Nicholas. Let me go to Henry. Henry, the conversation later with Nicholas indicates clearly that there is a general adherence to the COVID-19 protocols in Kenya, which is helping them reduce in the surge of the cases they are recording in Kenya. Here in Ghana, between March and June, there was strict adherence to the COVID-19 restrictions. But now, with our second wave in Ghana, you go to some areas and then it's likely that people are not too much adhering to the protocols, though government is putting in enough measures to it. What is the situation in DR Congo? Is it that there's also a total adherence, or people just don't care about the fact that there's something called COVID-19?
Yes, sir. You know, for now, there is no school who are opening. Students don't go to the university, and we have curfew on 9 p.m. from 9 p.m. till 5 a.m. There is some who don't work, like usually there is the government locked down some bar, nightclub. There is no ball. There is no restaurant. We are at home. We don't move like usually. Last time, March to September or October, we are totally locked down. But after October, December, January, there is some restriction who are leave. We are only, there is no class for students, there is no class for in the university, there is no ball. They are playing, but it's closed. The stadium is closed. That is the situation for now in DR Congo. We have more than 25,000 cases who are detected and more than 15,000 cars who are okay for now, but some cases who are continue to be detected per day, like 300 cases, and that is the situation for now in DR Congo.
Yeah, I think that's your situation. I hear your numbers. It's not really alarming to the numbers we have in Ghana, where we're almost about 64,000.
Almost 7,000. We're almost 7,000 now as in active cases.
You've crossed the threshold, but we have about 7,000 active cases now. But so I think your situation is not really that. But let me come to what my averment to, or your touch on education. In Ghana, we've been able to adapt a virtual means of education for higher level, that is those in the university, those in second cycle, secondary school, and then those in primary or basic level are undertaking a rationing system or a shift, not shift per se, but the intake is lesser as compared to a wholesome. What pragmatic measures would you probably look out for in the educational sector? Because schools should not be closed forever. Brain drain will take place. Students will begin to act in some manner. We still need people to occupy our positions to revamp our economy. Yes, the students are home. Why don't you explore the virtual means?
Okay. For now, we are see some schools do course online via WhatsApp. They are create some groups WhatsApp by class, and the professor gives some topics, and the student read it and respond online via WhatsApp. For the high level on university, there is some methods applied now is for some Zoom group. They can be for 50 person, like for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. And you see that is just only for the professor to give the topics, and the student come with the response after. That is the system we have now on DRC. There is focus only two applications, WhatsApp and Zoom. Zoom is for the student who are high level on university and someone, but primary school basic systems is on WhatsApp. But there is not efficient system, because you know that the child is cannot be concentrated. He's there with his her mom. If they are professor, you see the child is calling by their mom, left course, and after one, there is not efficient system, but we are going to encourage the system, the digital system for the education. But it's not efficient. It's not efficient because Congo, we have another problem. That another problem is the connectivity. The internet connectivity is not accessible for everyone. We have more than 1 million, 5 or 10 million students, but there is no everyone who have smartphone to access the cars online.
That's let me come to Kenyan and speak to Nicholas on what that education phase 2 is like in in Kenyan, because for what Anu is saying in DR Congo, it seems that the options of online is being introduced, but not that stringent. What really is your case in Kenya, Nicholas?
Thank you once again. I think for education, we all appreciate that we can't, even up to now, we can really not quantify the kind of loss in terms of the content that the students had before then the lockdown came, because the retention capacity, especially of younger ones, definitely was affected for the long time. Kenya closed its schools from March up to the end of the year 2020. And it has opened the schools physically this year in January. So currently the schools are ongoing. There is in-person learning from primary to universities. And but during the time that people are in lockdown, again, COVID-19 has showed us the level of disparities we have in the society, and Kenyan society is one such, that you had families that were able to afford to provide internet for their children and link with the teachers to provide that content. So that happened, and actually many schools put efforts to provide lessons online, and mostly it was through Zoom. Some, of course, sent the content, the topics through WhatsApp to the parents, so that then they would have their children go through them, and then they will have some Zoom sessions. But that was taken up with the disparity, because especially those who are in the rural settings were not able to be involved in the virtual learning. But mostly those who are in the urban setups were involved in the urban learning, in the virtual learning. And Kenya really is one country with strong network connectivity. I think that we'll appreciate, and that in the urban setups, that was the people are able to access internet, and also the internet providers, mostly the telcos in Kenya, provided special kind of packages or bouquets for learning. So they provided this for that were very minimal cost, but they were able to enable the learners have access content and engage through the virtual learning throughout the day. So they factored in that bit, and that was their contribution towards the cushioning of the population, especially the education sector, in the times of COVID. So that happened, and then the virtual learning happened, though with disparity based on access.
Okay, I think that the virtual means, if you share with me, has been introduced to see to it that the retention rate in education is being minimized. But the disparities between those in the urban center and then the rural center, what are you doing to bridge the gap eventually? Because there's going to be that huge gap if we don't take care.
Yes, it's been a debate, because we're asking, when you have students eventually resume in-person learning in January, and some of them had been part of the virtual learning from March to December, while some of them had just been taking care of goats in the villages, how do you then bridge that gap? So I think the government appreciated, and somehow just ignoring the fact that some were engaging virtually. And so the government has reverted to a crash program in which they are going to cover all the topics from where they left. They're not assuming that the students participated in the virtual learning. So those who participated are having an advantage of course, having engaged that content before. But as the in-person learning has resumed, the teachers are somehow picking from where they left, so that they don't disadvantage those who are unable to plug into the virtual learning.
Let's move from the educational sector and let's look at health delivery, especially in COVID-19 times. What has been your rate of treatment? Because what we do in Ghana is that when we're able to identify that patients are segregated in the isolation center when it's extreme cases, those that are asymptomatic are able probably make them to self-isolate at home and be taken through some routines. What is your level of treatment in Kenyan as far as COVID-19 is concerned? When we are done with that part, we'll come to the personnel's concern in treating COVID-19 patients.
Yeah, again, I'll also appreciate the fact that Kenya has not got to a situation where its facilities are full and they're unable to admit any patient, as has happened elsewhere. But of course, our healthcare system is one which is, we all are sympathizing with ourselves that if we had the levels of transmissions or if infections as we've seen elsewhere, then that system will not be able to carry it. So, but all the symptomatic cases have been actually quarantined or isolated in hospitals. We've had the symptomatic doing home care. Kenya introduced home care isolation and treatment. So there have been people who have been at home, strictly adhering to the protocols, and they have been taking their medication from home. But the ones, especially who are symptomatic, have been in hospitals, and currently, because Kenya devolved its healthcare system at some point. So we just asked the devolved units to prepare. So all the devolved units prepared isolation rooms for COVID-19 cases. And right now, I would say that every other person has been taken into the treatment facilities.
Interesting. I think that you have not gotten to the extreme where like you indicated, the health centers will be overflowing. I'm grateful to your health personnel there. Now, talking about health personnel, what has been their worry and concern? Here in Ghana, we're able to give them some packages, some tax waivers, because they are frontline health workers, among other incentives we give to them. What is your case too in Kenya, Nicholas? Have you given priority to health workers? Because it seems that they've really been exposed and be the front fighters of COVID-19 around the globe.
Yeah, the healthcare workers, I would say that have had lots of grievances in this time. They have felt that the government did not give them priority in terms of providing them with the PPEs. Of course, the government had said that procured all the PPEs that were required and that the frontliners were in the priority of the government distribution of the PPEs. But there was a time in Kenya towards the later, in the second phase, we lost a number of healthcare providers, the personnel. And so there was a threat to shut down the service delivery from the healthcare workers because they were feeling like they were losing their colleagues. They were in the front line, yet they were exposed. They were not protected. And somehow the government moved in to ensure that the PPEs were with them. But again, that they were being given some, of course, other packages in terms of the healthcare insurance, and just to ensure that them and their families were protected and accessed healthcare, especially those who would then test positive for the virus. So there has been some attempts to really meet or address their grievances, but I think the healthcare providers, that community, are really feeling that they have not been taken care of as they would have desired or deserved to be taken care of in these times.
Okay, I'll come back to you so that you give me your own point of view, or in terms of futuristic comment, in terms of the health sector, what you feel that at this point, where concerns have not been really met by government, like government is trying its best to mitigate it one way or the other, what really could be done? I'll come back to you there in Kenya. Let me come to Henry Adia Congo and ask him what the health situation there too are. What are the concerns of your health staff in Congo so far as treatment of COVID-19 is concerned?
In Republic Democratic of Congo, the people don't consider this disease like reality. We are making effort to make sense for this disease in people, to say it's really, we must to be protected, we must to be do some things to stop it. But the people don't understand the right way is for her a system put by some people to lesser to be closed That is the major problem is in DR Congo. The people don't consider this disease like reality, like true. That is the problem we have in the DR Congo. But is really diseases, and we see some people death with COVID in DR Congo. The hospital is very, very full. We don't know why, but we consider it like malaria, but it's not malaria, it's COVID for some case. That is the situation in DR Congo.
Yeah. Now, meaning that it is worrisome. If hospitals are getting full to the brim, then the exposure to health workers has become dire. What is government doing to see to it that the community, citizens adhere to protocols, and then we also do well to save the life of our health officials who are at the forefront of the fight of COVID-19 in DR Congo?
You see, the system in DR Congo with government is to say people that desires that COVID is really, we must stop it. We have 5 measures: to put mask, to wash hand, don't take the hand of your neighbor, and other things. But people don't consider that things. You see that the population say this disease is for government, this disease is for the authority, this is not for us, what I can say in English.
Yeah, it's understandable. I have the same thoughts in Ghana. They say the sickness is for the rich people. It's not for poor people. It's understandable.
Yeah. So the government do the protocol to sensibilize by radio station, by advisement, and there is a lot of things we put in system to tell to the population. This disease is really, we must do attention, because in Europe this disease can be finished, but we can last with him.
Okay, let me come to you finally. Your final thought on our conversation. Time is not really our friend here. That is you, Henry. As a church, as an Anglican Communion member, in time of Lenten season, we in the Accra diocese are looking at reconciliation with God and one another, and looking at God to reconcile with us and forgive us of all sins and take us away from the pledge of COVID-19. On your own side too, what will be your own touch in terms of Lenten season, and what do you expect from God at the end of this period of piousness and then fast?
What we can say for that question, our prayer daily is to recover our normal situation. That is our prayer. For Anglican Communion, we can say in Republic Democratic Congo, we want to be considered by the. We want to pray for the communion, because if we continue with this disease, we cannot do our objective for evangelization, and the mission is to tell to the people to have faith in Jesus Christ, and to recover the life. I want to say our need is to recover normally life by prayer, by medical, by scientists who can put for us vaccine on or other things.
Okay, thank you. Let me go straight to Nicholas. Nicholas, I think our time is fast spent, but your final touch there. That what really will be your expectation in this period? That become vaccines, come by dint of magic, by dint of miracle, to make COVID-19 be something that will be a thing of the past, that we could come back to normal lives. I miss hugging people. Maybe you do.
I really do. And we really all hope that we'll resume what we call, and what my friend Andrea said, normal life. You had asked of my view of the what government will need to do, I think at this point, the government of Kenya definitely has placed in some orders for vaccines, and that is looking forward to inoculating up to 20% of the population by beginning end of this month with its first batch of like 24 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. And so there is hope that maybe when vaccination starts, that people will be now more confident to interact, and that the vaccination might then just improve the immunity and take down the transmission cases. But about that, we are praying to God, because He knew this before it happened. Really, it didn't take Him by surprise, and that because, like in most Kenyan churches, we just resumed the Eucharist this time of Lent, and we've not been able to do that. So we are hoping that the Lord will take away this from us, and that He'll enable us to continue with our interactions as we've always done, and we really cherish doing.
Right, Nicholas, I'm most grateful to you for the conversation all the way from Kenya. The next time I make a stop in Kenya, we'll have more conversations on other matters. I'm most grateful.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm also much grateful that you gave us the opportunity to share of our experience and our thoughts with you.
All right, let me go. Okay, let me go straight to DR Congo and say hello to my friend Henry. Henry, thanks for your time, and then God bless you too for joining us.
Merci beaucoup. Nous sommes contents. Very thank you.
C'est bon. Au revoir.
Au revoir. À la prochaine.
D'accord. These are my friends, Henry and Nicholas. Henry is from DR Congo, and then Nicholas is from Kenya. And then they joined us via Zoom. I'm most grateful for the conversation with them. They're telling us about things that has happened in their countries, respectively concerning COVID-19, and then how they've come so far. Time couldn't permit us, but we wanted to touch more on other sectors and see how they've been able to come out of it. Entertainment. My entertainment people have been sending me questions that they want to know how entertainment has been like in Kenya, and that's what I did. But probably maybe next time, after probably a month, when we review the matters, they will also go back and then have more conversation to them. So let me ask, have you been to Kenya and then DR Congo before?
Honestly, I'm a Ghana born, Ghana grew.
Oh, okay.
I've never exited the borders of Ghana.
Kumasi, Accra, Eastern region.
Kumasi, Accra. I've done about 5 regions. For the regions in Ghana, I've done about 6.
So you love to go to Kenya? And DR Congo?
Definitely.
Don't worry, I'll speak to my friends.
But after COVID-19 goes away.
Don't worry. Even in COVID, you'll go and then go and experience how COVID-19 is in some markets.
Yeah. Selassie is saying, Selassie will take me to Kenya to go and do sports. Go and do high jump and all that. You that have the long legs, you don't go and do high jump. You are taking me. Okay. So
you have which long legs?
Selassie has the long legs. So if someone should be doing high jump, no, not me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will be doing the boxing or anything like that. I'll be doing boxing instead. Boxing, because I think I have the punch and the power behind my punch and all that. But it's a nice interview that you had with them. And the latter part, the part where you're doing the revoir, merci, that one lost me. I got lost. But
yes. But funny enough, I had B+ in French.
B+ in
French.
Last
time I wrote French.
So you wrote what's in French too? Okay.
I wrote SSE. I think French. I wrote, and then I think that I did French in Gimpa too. So I had So, good morning to my French mistress in Gimpa. Her name is Madame Agnes Osei. Yeah, she's cute, slim lady who teaches French, and she's.
So after mentioning the name, you had to bring the description too. Cute lady.
So that when people meet me,
we'll know that this is
any Agnes or say that's the one. But if she's cute and she's fair,
then that's the one that you're
talking
about.
French mistress.
But with the conversations, I think with the internet connectivity and the impact of COVID-19 on education and with the connectivity problems and all that, it's not only in DR Congo. I think it's widespread in Africa. That has been the problem. That's been the major challenge with this whole virtual learning and all that. So already as it is, you see our brothers and sisters in the cities or in the urban areas are already enjoying. They have an upper hand, a better advantage when it comes to the facilities, learning facilities and all that. And now that per circumstances, we have to resort to virtual learning. The status quo remains. Still, those in the urban areas and the cities would definitely have better internet connectivity. And so with the virtual learning and all that, they would be able to do more exploits and achieve more, benefit more than those in the rural areas where even if you climb the tallest Iroko tree, you might still be having challenges with your internet connectivity and all that. So I think it's a big challenge when it comes to education, the impact of COVID-19 on education in Africa as a continent. Ghana is no exception. We know that's still the situation. So when it happened that most schools had to close down and resort to virtual learning, that was the cry of most students. That was the cry, because having access to the internet to do the works and the assignments and all that was the problem. Not that they can't do, but the internet's connectivity to do the work, that has been the problem. And so I believe as we are moving forward, Africa as a continent, we need to improve on these things, improving on our health delivery, our educational structure, and then also in the digitization. So I think when it comes to that, Ghana, since Dr. Baumia got the name Mr. Jigita, I think he has been doing a lot in that regard, but still a lot is left to be done. Yes, especially with the internet connectivity, so we can have equal internet access across the country, Ghana. So this virtual learning wouldn't have been a problem. But all in all, I think that is it for COVID-19 and its impact. We had a call with Madam Elizabeth Quinn from the UK. Now we've had Henry Kiyosa from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Nicholas Pandey from Kenya that we've spoken to, and we know what toll COVID-19 has been having on their respective countries. That I don't know. I have one more paper. How many do you have there?
I have one more.
Okay, let me just do this quickly, then we'll go to what happened yesterday in Parliament with the vetting with Hawa Kumsin and Kojo Ponkroma. And on that score, Mahama shut down again. Supreme Court dismisses another review application. And I'm reading from the Daily Statesman newspaper. Mahama shut down again. Supreme Court dismisses another review application. See page 2 for details. Kojo Ponkroma rallies support for journalists. Now he is one of our own, and so who else to promote our agenda best
if
than
not
him? Yes, so that's one. So he's rallying support for us. That's a good call. Howard Kumsen apologizes for gunshots during voter registration. For all the trends and all that, it's good to trend. It's good to trend once in a while. So Howard Kumsen, she's not the type that only trends once in a while. She's actually the type that trends most often for the various reasons. She's a trendy. She's a trendy. She's a trendy. Tokyo 2020, Japan Olympics Minister Seiko Hashimoto appointed head of games. Japan Olympics Minister. So they have an Olympics ministry in Japan. And the Olympics Minister, Seiko Hashimoto, he has been appointed the head of games at the Tokyo 2020 event. Are you thrilled with Swansea City's fortuitous victory against Nottingham Forest? So Andre Dede Ayew Remy Morgan there. It's almost like he's celebrating a goal. That's it there. And then some more stories here. Tennis, Australian Open. Serena Williams leaves news conference in tears. This one has been done already. House of Folk coach Costa Papes leaves Ghana. And the cameras followed him as he left. And he landed in South Africa. Apparently, he had another job there. So he had to find the means or some ways to exit Ghana, leave House of Folk and go and take on that new job. So Isaac Mote tried to explain to me, but me, I will not have it. All I know is the coach left. So that's it for the Daily Statesman. You do your own paper, Reggie.
Yes, I'll do the Nkundo what says true independent spear of the nation. The Chronicle, the quarters one says you can't be satisfied with my answer. Tatu tells Scott. You can't be satisfied with my answer. Tatu tells Scott. The big one here is I have buried Rollins in dignity. Who is saying this? His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo Nada Ado Gai Ado Ahonfe is saying that he's buried Rawlings' indignity. He said this when the president went to thank him for the state, everything attached to the burial processes. Yes. Elsewhere, armed gang robs credit union. Stories on page 5. Ghana needs legislation to roll out LGBT promotions. Ghana needs legislation to roll out or to outlaw LGBT promotions. Ghana needs legislation to outlaw, that is, take it out. LGBT promotion. Upon Kuma is saying this. I think yesterday the final Upon Kuma had his time with the vetting committee or appointments committee of parliament, and then as his information minister texting it, it's obvious that he's going to be blessed by the committee. He's going to be blessed because he was not the members of the committee. He wowed me that we were watching. That is it. Isaiah chapter 57 verses 2. Those who walk uprightly enter into peace. They find rest as they lie in death. Isaiah 57 verse 2. Those who walk uprightly enter into peace. They find rest as they lie in death. And this one is straightforward. That Rollins has walked uprightly in peace and is finding himself some rest as he lie death. With the soul of our former president.
This one is simple. I would have gotten it right if you had me to relate or connect it to it's not as tough as when you are asked the plural form for water. That one is a very tough question.
You have to just go.
It's very difficult.
It's W2O. That's the plural for water. There's two in it.
The plural for water will be W2O.
That means it's not W. It is H2O.
H2O. Okay, H2O.
H2O.
Shouldn't you bring power 2 like that?
No, it's not power 2. It's H2O.
H2. Okay, H2O. The 2 there.
H base 2O.
So the 2 will form the
plural form of water. Yeah.
H2O. Okay, so
that said is water.
Yeah, apparently that's the answer. For some people that attended the kind of school that Selassie attended, they were taught that the plural form for water is water. But that's not the case. That's not the correct answer. The plural form for water in the Bible they mention waters. Yeah. Waters.
Surface of the waters.
Well, waters. So they add S to the waters. But in English, I was taught that the plural form for water is water. So the Bible and the teacher, which one is
English
right?
person should go and correct those who read the Bible.
Okay.
If they have it, they should go and do it. Before we go on the break, let's read some few messages.
Okay.
This one is coming from Positive Change inside Medina. He's saying that politics of backbiting isn't Ghana's bane of retrogression. It is rather hypocrisy of the so-called voice of conscience, who only uses their brain when a particular party is in power and use their stomachs to reason on the same things they condemned previously when there is clear evidence of wrongdoing. Regards to lawyer Francis Susu, MP for Medina constituency. This one is deep, positive change Medina. This one is coming from Ejisu Sir John. It means that there's another Sir John in Ejisu. Good morning, Ghana. NDC supporters should hold Mahama and their executives to account. To them the evidence they claim to have. You deceive innocent supporters to demonstrate unsuccessfully when you knew, unnecessarily, when you knew you lost the election. The court have exposed Mahama for deceiving Ghanaians. This one is coming from Walanyo inside Akwatia. When NDC sends a brittle petition to the Supreme Court, and what should they expect? You claim Mahama won on the streets with series of demonstrations, burning of ties, etc. You then went to court saying no one won the 2020 election without any tabulated figures and qualitative figures from your collation centers. In fact, the court must impose huge amount of money on the petitioner for false pretense, for joking with the integrity of Ghanaians. I think that's what I just sent a message twice. The Dr. Down Blow. I think anytime I have issues from where he's sent, it is from Bremu Apelsika. The veteran has exposed how reckless this government is. How come that any minister who appears before the vetting committee with the mindset of I'm not aware tells me they don't believe in the same thing they were touting as achievements prior to the 2020 election. The non-performance cannot be accepted by Parliament. The good news is that the NDC members of the committee must know that they owe Ghanaians furiously duty. Future to reject the incompetent ones will mean the end of their parliamentary journey. My regards to Ufosu Kwache. Fine. I'm sure that when you think that a member of parliament is nominated for a ministerial position and you feel that the person is incompetent to be minister, the person is still MP. Yes, the person is still MP.
Well, so I don't know. We will come back and have a proper discussion on the vetting so far, with a particular focus on yesterday's nominees. Honorable Mavis Howard Kumsin, the Minister Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture, and Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Minister Designate for Information. The answers they had to give to some questions that were posed to them. Of course, we will also take another look at what happened yesterday at the Supreme Court. Yet another application or request dismissed by the Supreme Court. So we will look at that one also, and some more conversations we will have here after the break. This is AM Ghana on Adoatv. Stay tuned.
What is fish farming? What is fish farming? And what are some of the advantages of fish farming?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try my best. Fish farming is the process of rearing of fish in the reservoirs and the fish ponds. Thank you.
Honorable, please, I said, what are the advantages of fish farming?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One advantages of fish farming is it makes the farmer earn some income. It also increases fish in our community for consumption. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Nilante.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Chairman, first, I want to ask the honorable nominee, what are the three main subsectors within the fishing industry in Ghana? The three main subsectors within the fishing industry in Ghana.
The fishing industry, the three main subsectors. Yes, Honorable Minister. Yes, Honorable Nominee, we're listening to you. Ignore them both sides of the house and address me, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I don't understand the question very well, so it'll be very difficult for me to answer it.
No, member, can you break it down for her for me, please?
Unfortunately for me, I don't know how to rephrase this question because very simple,
very well.
Straightforward
question. Industry. Which sectors are identifiable, whether it's what do you call the marine subject?
Mr. Chairman,
I'm verifying.
That's not fair.
I'm verifying.
Mr. Chairman, that's not fair. Mr. Chairman, that's not fair.
What are the three subject branches you can?
Mr. Chairman, I said I didn't understand the question.
Just
I wanted to be
now,
sure of what he was talking about. Yes.
Now, yes.
I said, what are the three main subsectors within the fishing industry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have the marine sector, aquaculture, and then the inland sector.
Okay, my second question. Ghanaians have complained a lot about the penetration of Chinese into retail, mining, and other sectors of the economy. Are you aware of the length of Chinese penetration in our fishing industry? And before that, will you, by chance, heard of the number of Chinese trawlers on our seas?
Honorable, first, are you aware of the Chinese numbers of Chinese, the Chinese invasion of our shipping? Are you aware? That's the first one.
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware of that.
Yes, the number of trawlers, big fishing vessels that are on the seas. Do you know the number?
Mr. Chairman, I'm told there are between 80 to 100 trawlers on the sea. I'm not very sure, but that's the information I got. But I don't know their owners.
Mr. Chairman, this work is also to help the nominees when they are approved to do better at the sector. So if you allow me, she has mentioned about 80. I have with me here the list of number of Chinese trawlers within our fishing industry. I will give, Mr. Chairman, I'm saying that it's to help her in case she's approved. Here, two types of waybills that are issued to the trawlers when they catch fish. One is official Ghanaian waybill, and the other one is the unofficial Chinese waybill. So we have a Ghanaian waybill and a Chinese waybill, where the quantity of the catch is virtually under invoiced on the Ghanaian waybill, but specified correctly on the Chinese waybill, so that they will elude paying the proper customs and fines to Ghana government, whilst they pay the right one to the Chinese. I will give it to you. I have with here too a specimen contract that they enter into with Ghanaian fishermen in what they call transshipment. When they catch the fish on the high seas, instead of bringing it down for it to be properly accounted for, they sell the fish to fishermen illegally on the high seas, and they sign contract with them. So, I will hand those things over to her.
That is very good information.
Let me go to
that will assist her if she becomes a minister.
Yeah, I will go for my second question.
Right. Can he?
Because this one is just to assist her. How many regions in Ghana do we do artisanal fishing? And within that sector, just give me four.
You're compounding the questions and saying my second question and my third question. Kindly let her answer the first one, then you can.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I'm right, there are 4 regions. And if not, when I get there, I'll find out and get back to you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, she said 4 regions. Can she mention the 4 regions for me, please? She said 4 regions. So I will want to know the 4 regions. The 4 regions, if you mention them for me. Will you mention the 4 regions for me?
I know of the Volta region, Greater Accra region, Central region, and Western region.
Do we do fishing in the Eastern region?
No, you've exceeded your
Oh, Chairman, it's on the same question, the follow-up for the same question.
Thank you very much. You've had enough.
No, Chairman, because we do
Yes,
fishing even in your constituency, in your region, we do fishing.
Minority Chief. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in an answer to an earlier question about the shooting, she apologized and she said the matter was before the police, so details of it could not be discussed. Okay, I just wanted to find out from her whether she was aware that a number of her constituents got hurt, some lost some of their property. Oh, okay, you couldn't hear me. I'm saying that during that particular incident, a number of your constituents got injured. Others got their property damaged. The motorbikes and shops, bullets hitting their kiosks and other things. Are you aware that this happened to some of your constituents?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know which of the incidents he's actually talking about.
I'm talking about the very one that you said was happening around 6 a.m. That you are aware that some of your constituents got injured, some got their property destroyed. Whether you were aware?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware, as I already alluded, that the case is under investigation and I don't have any reports in my hand.
So, after the incident, did you follow the news item that showed some of the young guys injured with blood all over them? Some of the women that were saying that there were bullets that hit their kiosks. You never followed those stories?
Well, I heard about, I read the stories, but I never heard about people being injured and blood flowing here and there. I never heard about that.
So, you mean to say, as the MP for the area, when persons have been injured as a result of the fracas that happened at the polling station or near the polling station, as an MP, you never took pain to find out whether some people were injured and whether some properties were destroyed? You never did that?
Mr. Chairman, I would want to create this impression here that I gave a warning shot in the air. It was not directed to anybody on that day. Thank you.
No, but did you hear that any people have been injured or properties damaged?
Welcome back. So that was some excerpts, some part of what transpired yesterday at the Parliament House during the vetting of the Minister Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsi, that we just watched. Now, for me, that was WASI 2021. WASI 2021 just came early for Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsi. But since I mentioned WASI 2021, let me go to my colleague, Reginald Robertson, and ask him. So, if this was WASI 2021, from your own assessment, how did she fare with the questions that were thrown at her and the responses that...
She performed as an average student, I would say.
She performed as an average student.
Not too good, not too bad.
So, Mark, give her a percentage. Put a figure to that.
it will be unfair to do that.
It will be unfair to do that. But you said the average. So
I have a
okay,
property.
region,
I have a
region.
property in a constituency.
I have a property.
I'm very careful.
Okay, so but with the issue of where they were talking about some Chinese people invading the fishing sector in Ghana here. They were talking about trawlers and other stuff, and in some cases going into some contracts with local fishermen to be selling the fishes that they catch on high sea to them and all that. What impact has these? Of course, we've been talking about these Chinese men fishing sometimes illegally on the Ghanaian shores for some time now, but the impact of such activities on our fishing industry. I mean, what role did it play in the where we had to get to the stage where we had to call for a closed season, where we had to ban fishing and all that because the fishes needed time to spawn or to multiply and all that. With the invasion of Chinese men in the fishing sector, what role has it played to this stage where we are now?
The fishing sector is one sector that's seen a lot of neglect.
Yes.
That sometimes, I don't know why it had to take poor people to be called, excuse my language, poor people to be called fishermen. Because I realize that going up at the shores of Cape Coast, when we know somebody to be a fisherman, the person is very rich. Because if you call them the persons that are able to identify or see gold in the mouth of gold in the mouth of fishes. That is what they are able to relate to anyways there. But unfortunately, growing up, it seems that sometimes the impact there is that the persons that find themselves to be fisher folks, be the fishermen or the fishmongers by the women, most of them are uneducated people. It's just a few that are really educated. So when you come and look at community fishing, come and look at fishing on a very larger scale, that is the marine we'll talk about, then in between it, that is where the Chinese people find themselves coming in. It's a canker that you are supposed to look at. If you're going to give it to the Chinese people, then it should be done within the confines of law, within an acceptable means. They should then have to also have the contractual arrangement of trying to do the fishing in an appropriate manner that will not endanger the lives in the water body. But at the end of the day, we've seen that over the years, things have been done illegally. I'm very grateful to Honorable Neilante van der Poel, who happens to be the member of parliament for the Dodo constituency, the constituency I vote in, the constituency I was battered in, for giving that quantum of information to our community. That is, if
to assist her, if
she's approved upon as minister for fisheries. This is the beauty of democracy. That though I am dating into or I'm exposing that you have no idea about what is happening right under your nose or in the ministry that you are going to, I have even gone further to even do a research, not even as a not even as a fisheries minister designate, but I'm just a member of parliament. I'm at liberty to do research. I have a research work. Take it. When you are approved, go and work with it to enhance the face of fishing in Ghana. Kudos to Honorable Edward Neilante van der Poel.
Well, so from the vetting of Mavis Howard Commission, and it was not only Mavis Howard Commission that was vetted yesterday. Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, the Minister Designate for Information, was also vetted, and he also had some interesting stuff to say, particularly with the topical issue of LGBT and all that in Ghana. He believes the act itself is already criminal, so we should be focusing on the advocacy. There should be a law against the advocacy of LGBT rights and LGBT movements and promoting of LGBT agenda and all that. So, but unfortunately, we wouldn't have time to delve into that. We'll be going on a break. But when we come back, we are switching. We are going to be talking health. Dr. Okanse is the CEO. Dr. Sophia Okanse is the CEO of SO Herbal Center. We will be having her in the studios, and we are going to be talking about high blood pressure. High blood pressure. So all the things that you've never heard. I'm sure you've heard high blood pressure, but the causes, the prevention, and the effects and all that. So we'll be talking high blood pressure on the show after we come back from this break. AM Ghana on Adoatv Television. My name is Francis Kusi, the Chairman Junior, and I'm doing this with Reginald Robertson, the Morning Star. We'll be back after the break.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work Premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it, and wash your hands with soap and running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868, or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Ya bre malaria ni ewuje bebrebe. Ah, hey, Jackson mix and near. Ushan wanum watwa. No, I'm young bre. Wapasu chichi wana. Jackson mixture. So and Fania grow. Utiyo ya, wanumu nyaude. I want to na Fania grow.
Malaria and quadia, no me Jackson mixer. Now, bet yes, king.
They won't any more about food, about my flower for. About flower only if you do and no murdering. Jackson have a mister only size.
John, who feeling? Wow, Eddie, one boy juma. I check a roofing now. Oh, you fell one casa from Asatek. Oh, na same roofing is up baby bray nice keke. Why na catch you? Asatek roofing sheet dear, and your nice keke with the bodan swa a chee and rina chain. They want to call us a hood of a fair be bray. No no free roofing sheet no dear. Who near that will be out. Now so the bodan swa a zero supampe. What means to trauma send your open roofing sheet no? We try the summer pepe. Mama po Asatek money there. One my technical advice na estimate free or professional installers so want your on-site installation. Oh yes, quality and with that feminine. Asatek 5 days pay na musa can order. Now a year after sales service proper binso. Sheshe Asatek Watema Community 2, Meridian Road, a Benkoko Board Warehouse, Western Region. So Asatek Watakra de Anaji, Yeni Princeland Hotel and Edition, and a Volta Region, Yawa Akachi South District Assembly Koinosuha.
Supan na na wanya apomuden se wo benum nso a hwe hu ni se eye Migo purified mineral water eye nso a yetu ni baby pa asaso ni so se kroje se wonya Migo purified mineral water bogu ubu a wo see you manum nso pa Migo mineral water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na aye ede na nkabia ni atri Migo purified mineral water bacteria na mhen wa bewrem eye very hygienic obia di one dance Migo mineral water neatly packaged for 500 ml bottles mu na wani bosua na wo kon donsio wo benya Migo purified mineral water to bebia to phone call dodo wa amount for tipa junction and now for 050-7055-409 and now 055-392-1088 Migo purified mineral water akona kono.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus: cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868, or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Welcome back. AM Ghana on Adoatv Television. This is where we get to talk health. Health, this is not health matters, but more like health matters, because your health really matters. And we'll be talking about high blood pressure. And to assist with the conversation and help with all the necessary relevant information about this particular topic, high blood pressure. I have here with me Dr. Sophia Asi Okanse, who is the CEO of SO Herbal Center. So I'll just introduce her or welcome her, then our conversation shall commence. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
And welcome to AM Ghana.
Thank you very much.
So, SO Herbal Center, is it for Sophia Okanse? That's easy to tell, yeah.
By the grace, I'm the CEO of the center. Yeah.
So you named the center after yourself.
Yes, please.
Through your hard work and
Yes,
toil.
please.
So, man for enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. So, high blood pressure. It's also called hypertension.
Yes, please.
Hypertension in local parlance, if I say local parlance, then I mean chi. It also means mojamroso.
Yeah.
Hypertension is mojamroso. So high blood pressure, does that mean it's a situation where one will have more blood in the system than they are supposed to?
Thank you very much. On behalf of those beautiful TV station, I say good morning to the viewers and aside the viewers, the listeners, because if you view, you have to listen to it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and then Happy New Year to all of us, because this is the first time we've met.
Yeah.
So talking about the high blood pressure or the mojamroso, as you said, it comes in a different form. Please, do you get me?
Yeah.
Because we all believe that our blood groups are not the same. So something that might give you a signal wouldn't give the same person a signal, but it might be one cause.
Okay.
Talking about those high blood pressure or the mojamroso or the BP or the whatever. When we talk about the high blood pressure, it's a good question you asked, because a lot of people think that when you have high blood pressure, meaning maybe your blood inside you or whatever it's flowing, and the blood does not flow, it flows in the veins, pumped to the heart. Please, do you get me?
Yes.
So, senya oka ye no obi bebka say ni moja na eburu so abroswa overflow. If that is the case, we wouldn't have shortage at Kolebu Blood Bank. We wouldn't have shortage at 37.
So those with more blood than their body can contain can easily walk there.
Yes, they can easily. So when you just go there and then they check your BP for you, and maybe your BP is blah 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 over what, and you feel say maybe umojana exceed like on betting me attribute, but that is not the case. Please do you get me? Or high blood pressure, but yes, so yes, I di moja den so that tells you say. Sebi, so when you high blood pressure, it doesn't mean say umojano and na overflow. And na ye pesi ye chin be free so. But high blood pressure no ye bribia it deals with the heart. That is why we have gone too soon, what a shock. I just saw him yesterday. Oh, we were in the meeting together with her. What happened? Within her, you wouldn't know what is happening. But inside her, she knows that no, I'm finding it difficult to breathe. My heart is paining me. There are some symptoms that in which the person is feeling or within him or her, she knows what is going on. But aside it, you wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't know it. Well, we will come to the signs and the symptoms, but in your earlier submission, you mentioned blood groups and their responses towards this high blood pressure. Is there any particular blood group that is more susceptible to high blood pressure than the others?
There is in some way in which no. You know what? Each and everybody has blood group. You understand? But symptoms is like high blood pressure or whatever. When someone is having this kind of issue, you understand? It's just like someone said, "Mitia meya." But no, we have varieties of tiare. It's giving him or her a burning sensation. A drama to say the second so it aches the person. So please, are you getting me?
Sometimes it feels as though you are being hit with a hammer.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. All of it, half of it, it's just like you have a stomach ache. Your stomach ache, it is a whole lot, but so when we talk about the high blood pressure, the BP aspect now, symptoms it might give someone, it wouldn't give the next person, but they might all be having this issue, challenge.
That is due to the blood groups that we have.
Yes.
So a particular group may exhibit these signs.
Some of our diet, my dear brother, it has stopped all, this COVID thing we are talking about, immune boosting. Why is it that we are talking about immune boosting now? Meanwhile, our forefathers, our grandparents, great ones, that we came and met some of them, they weren't having all this kind of issues. It was not there. Do you know why? Because the food that they were eating at that time, those days, it was healthier, stronger, it's matured on its own. And but my dear brother, right now we believe that fruits are things that who did you know where the fruit so. But better mango pro. Do you know why? This BP thing we are talking about, or the high blood pressure thing we are talking about, I just want to open whoever is watching us or listening to us, if really you care about your health, please do get me. What I'm telling you, just put them into consideration, and then you understand where I'm coming from. Because talking about high blood pressure doesn't affect we the human alone those days, but it goes as far as affecting our foodstuffs. Please do get me. Both the fruits, both the edible, the ones, the vegetables we use in our kitchen, everything that we used to eat now, it has been affected by this high blood pressure, because they themselves, natural way na nyankopon yen na no and dua de na ebia 6 months na de na nkasa ye den enyin na wo makotete, but sesia no tomatoes yetete ni green ni ya hono chemical ni ye de guso. It's right. At the first name, because or not tomatoes ye duane de 3 days near the idea ko gu asie and na enyin, because ya catch so when you fertilize it no you overtini bebre. And of course, creating no openisika. So why sadia no? Enti ama eduane no e the pressure e na enyin. Enti eka pressure high ni pedua sesia. San affect ye duane die. And nothing na COVID ye ba ye no. Immune system, immune system be ye weak bia no na e de woko. Please, do you get me? We have so many cases, series of cases that they were not even affected by this COVID. But because they were immune, their immune system was weak for them, such people like diabetes, BP people, stroke people, whatever have you, because their immune system was weak. So this COVID, Please get me.
The genesis is that the food that we eat, the vegetables and the fruits, they are being pressured to premature. And so when we take in those foods, then it's all kind of in a way transfer the force. Or,
okay. Let me tell you something. When we talk about pressure or high blood pressure or BP, as we all know it to be, you know what? All what it means is the heart. It's like say so no matter how expensive your car you bought it.
Actually, not all of us. Some people, Selassie has a bicycle. So.
Yes, but bicycle no crano without the paddle. You understand? Without you paddling the bicycle, no, it will not bring you. So bicycle ne paddle no na koma.
The chain,
no.
Yes.
The chain ni wa on me paddle. And to yes where the car buying. No matter how expensive your car you bought it, without the engine, when you are going on the way and that's the engine break here, you have to pack it. So you call a mechanic to come and work on the car for you. You get it? Yeah, the bunny pan so swa, we humans, our engine inside us is the heart. So when the heart is having all this kind of pressure in Driane, any aside the Driane, obu wa dream pa, ebia bibi hano, obi di asema tunisu we jumemu, ebia sebi, ni mami bi, ebia waswa waria ne mbaye, that kind of thing. Nasa wa dream wam. Ube husa dream ne di load ni nyina ye den, ama akumano. Ena akumano sono, just veins binu ne kure mu. Ena veins na kure mu no, ye wania moja no so ye den, efemu, de kwa akumano ho. So when we talk about high blood pressure, no, from yenduani ayedinina, my dear brother, you buy okra today, you buy tomato today, put them in the refrigerator, but adia betcha so na pro, adensia. Yena nana they were not experiencing all those things. They were not even having fridge. But they buy tomato, they buy garden eggs, they buy okra, they buy all those foodstuffs. They just spread it on a sack. This our cocoa sack, the brown one. That is what they used to spread it on. Obekra the good form. And barely a month, no, Obe said Nipano, he or she keep on using all those vegetables and say any shame. But and because and the pressure and then new way from first tomatoes way from na bre. The ripe ones, no, you pluck the ripe ones. Then you leave the greenish one. Embryo. No. But right now, no creating no names tomatoes na bre and embryo. The embryo any are bringing in our tea and or the dregusu. Or the dronugusu less than 2 hours. Tomatoes na break. And to say be pressure no di nye. Or the pressure na nye. As I said, be original rank one or be airbo. Won't mean so no. Won't the panic them to ya dan ya obekunto kwa na wie. And no buyer no. Woman ne woman who they say creafo ne na edua woman. So when they are putting all those chemicals on them now, the buyer no have no say. The only thing they have to do is to write by force. And that is whereby the natural strength that we needed and we deserve from nature. Please, are you getting me?
I get it. And so basically it is the foods that we eat and how they are prepared being forced to mature. That is the cause, or to a large extent the cause of the cases of BP or high blood pressure or hypertension in the system now. But okay, there's this thing I read that high blood pressure usually affects more men than women. Is this assertion true? And if it is, how so? Why should men suffer more than, because you are talking about blood and both men and women have blood. So
thank you very much for your question. Before I come to that question, someone might ask, what are the symptoms of high blood pressure? You understand? Symptoms of high blood pressure and your back.
Well, we will get to the symptoms and how to
prevent overcome them and prevent them.
But with this one, the notion that men are more susceptible to high blood pressure than women, if it's not true in the first place, and if it is, how so?
It is in some way, but it's not in some way, because when we talk about the heart, Sebi, even baby have a heart. Matured person has it. Ages has it. You understand? So when we talk about men having this BP issue, every man that's over enjoy, let me use this word, over enjoyed sex.
Over enjoy sex.
Or beme bia neni sebi. Beme bi wo wa sebi oni obanda da kura wontimi. And by doing that, one will say, so you can yare stroke say ya. And mema o menya stroke ni na ye mema sebi. O mu nyi ya. O mu si so o mu ye mbasa mu bebre.
Well, I thought sex was supposed to be a form of exercise, and so
no.
The more you do it, the more
exercise. If exercise yourself, na say be a homache, usi obano so, ufi adwuma ba ya obedidi, usi obano so ni ade. Upe exercise nante. One will say we are not talking about we have quality and a good sex. Do you get me? And we have men who have that perception say, Messi suntimamin di mimrantensem. Omono ena eya ekutia womono. I don't know if you are getting my point.
I get it. So, in answering my question that why are men more susceptible to high BP, and you are bringing it
I will be coming there.
Partly is
I will be coming there. I will be coming there. So, what I'm saying is that every man that enjoys sex, and now sex yani hobby no. Obe who says service have been previous or starting no onya sexual weakness. What you say? Onya sexual weakness. And money be brain so high hard drink. And to be says I won't can't say bra office cry no or bar office. Or can say make us say so no. You already have a visitor at office. Or but no day before being a band to what would say now your marshal. One I am a shameless and your money and Emma will be pino. Shooty kosoro. Emma wakuma ne bo papa. Now the entire free sex need and so say. Whoever is enjoying sex, making sex his hobby, no. Alongside, no, obe who say, oh, sabi, who ya day now start training, na. You have the energy to start it, but alongside, no, once and now slowly, you are slowing because your energy is coming down. I don't know if you are getting my point. So, sana sex it here. When you do sex too much. Oh yes, sex baby bia. Ebedu baby no. Na fe hormones no organs na womu nyina no na jojo na eba fom. What you say? Enti no. Na so de koya no mame nko hospital na me fa orthodox a. Obe hu sa fe no. Orthodox na okwa nom na BP edro ni ade no. Side effect na ewuom no. Enye sabe mema yonkwa etimi sey ani. Odi agwaba ma wani asey. Ye onipa bebre wo ho sabi oyi ne lens na ugina nanim say ohun just o share ne lens no. And enton consider be you put on that lens. It is the side effect of a drona wo no because over sex no ama wo ye weak and you feel like okay wo ye weak into na wase wo ye den wo pedro na wo nom and then that a drona wo no nom na ebema wo BP na so atiaba from ama wo no. Abema pressure no ayewe no obehu say alongside endro na wo nom no na edisabi endudriye ebrel.
Well, that is scary. We'll be going to the symptoms, but before that, ideally, how often should a man have sex to not put too much pressure on his system to be more susceptible to high blood pressure? Ideally,
you know what? If you are married to the woman, if you are married to the woman, ideally, if it is once in the week, good sex once in the week. Abana ya wodia o. Eyam plebi na wona na twedia. Masa, what hot no wako baby. No, it is time we face the facts and we talk the truth because all kind of cranny pampe. And to sabi yemi say who say sabi, what worry obana to ho. We drone wa ma dia na saying them.
E woma.
On say we draw baby etima na team. Epe bakra na ebe papa odi nsuo guma na asache enunti na sabi oba wa honden sen bema. I'm telling you the fact. If someone may listen and then take the advice I'm giving this morning, it may hate the person. But so we feel so we bema and to sorry be obesi oba so. We sorry be obesi oba so. We see man so wo jump because I want warrior. one good sex in the week ni okay abu so 2 in the week okay into me patro me ba say we over here if you are overdoing it na say bia na we hia akosia ochna we hia mansa ochna chi we hia vida hu ne say emma no so omonam ho no wo so sabi wo nam ho kwa enti eno na ma infection bebrebe na yeden abaniti afi wo ba ware wie no na wo fesi low sperm count wo ba ware wie na afi wa hu den no wo waste no abonten enti woni oba no crashie mu a eya wo ferie afi wa kwakọ ware no na afi problem e be start abefie enti wo reserve wa hu den say bible crack can say oba men fa wa hu den mo oba enti say wa ware dia good sex we have enya sex nso oba ne 1 hour na just why sex o. And there is so many education that leads to what we are showing.
Let's come to the signs and symptoms of high blood pressure. But Benjamin Selassie is saying to my ears that if I do ways once a week, then we should consider adjustments in the bride price and all that. Let's go to the signs and symptoms now of high blood pressure. If one has high blood pressure, what are the signs?
Thank you. Signs and symptoms of the high blood pressure. 1. Palpitation, like obi or first staircase, obi on say now a break. Well,
that is the term you mentioned earlier. Palpitation.
Yeah.
Palpitation.
Yes, okay. Like wakoma no I say me
panting.
Like you are panting. The heart inside you no air break. So when akoma na bra, air affect nipedua no. So you might climb a staircase. I be a sabi nka first na wuti me ekoba but we won't say alongside no say see an ofro kakra gi say bia wo adjust bibia na say wo so wall mu ana staircase no bars no wo so bars ni bi mu patcho wate ase enti symptoms na ye nya no enti na me che say obi die e ma na kuma na bon tentem obi so wo obi full staircase enya na hwe obi so wo ho a 7 prediasan o te say bia te say senia onkrofu ye bibi wo street mu onyati hey pena na kuma na su na ase ase me hu at the spot won say if you bet seno if you fit na akoma na ye den e start born 10 enunti na sabi say obi wo bp a bebi adede bebre wo no eni kwaso ye den otena ho me for what you say and symptoms signs and symptoms no de be ye obi no enye obi baba hospital we be say mommy and our dad in Pacho, do you have pressure or say debut but o take it time now when you come and you asked him or her say so what done say bia bibi tough from now when it's here are you able to go back to sleep again and have a comfortable sleep obeka said debi obetimi asori anadwo be 2 o'clock or no onya bad time bia ni ba na e ha na anadwo no baby awada asori be na ni ate be 12 o'clock 2 o'clock and nane ho be ne den saa want me na biem afiade abetene na why stress out into be who say 7 predators aside nipa no ne dimi na ne ebia ne appearance ne nyina ne tells you say bribi ye den he nipa no and now wo eye edro pa to have a sound sleep no it's like having a good sex if your man have a good sex now in the extent of ebia longer period now oba ho say oda wo ya relaxed utimi da like ohu sisi wo so ya form sana enna so ye den etie enti enna wo eye duro enti obi o pressure bia no enna ho ya den eye den de ma no aside eno no na me kan say obo ho a ade kra to form na ne yam ahye no and what is ye he wa bonten then na ase na kuma no e born in 10 obi wo ho so a sabi alongside na kuma na e born no oba wo se na ne su ye den e chi no I don't know if the American or
the dizziness, yeah.
Dizziness. Some people they have blackout. Yes. And you know, it's a whole lot. And nothing I made in can earlier on say, dear eye obino, and yeah no ena eye obi, but say ye can into general and into consideration now. Meaning say wakuma na eye engine na ewo wumuno. And nothing na in God's own image and his wisdom understanding wise no. Why ye nipa kuma say wakuma should never ever upe organa and rest wo nipeduema eye wakuma. All the organs need to be relaxed. I didn't say what that no so that from because sorry I won't say make a plan. I will go this way. I have this one to do. I have this one to do. But that plan be anywhere will fail you. So you have a comfortable sleep. But sabi adwena da no na akoma no ye den egusu ye adwuma eno nti na wakoma sizi age said you kopie hospital enti akoma no de 24/7 no ye adwuma enti se wakoma no e break ya na eno na sabi sesia no cardiac arrest ana say ye beka so ogina ho sesia na ose na akoma na mfifrete no na obuhweye ana wo kɔ ɔte akonwa mu ɔkɔ na chi ye so ni mu a ohu akoma na wo ni mu no is telling him or her say was so ye den or ye ho adwuma enunti na sesia na covid na abeba na nyina no even all these whites are telling us say it is help that can help us by boosting our immune system with our foodstuffs with afei Indian in na omo mention
Doctor, the prevention, how we can prevent them. But for the viewers watching at home, you will also be allowed to contribute. You can be a contributor, and so in a short while the numbers will be displayed on your screen. You can come through with your calls and bring your suggestions, your contributions, and if you have a question to ask Doctor here concerning high blood pressure and all that, you can come through with all of that. The numbers will be displayed on your screen very shortly. But let's look at the prevention. Now you have already started. How can we avoid or prevent getting high blood pressure?
Thank you very much.
You mentioned sleep earlier on, so.
Thank you very much. By preventing your high blood pressure, it lies in your hands. Do you understand? One, some might be listening to me now. Ni AC or the two, just say, comfortable zone, any ma or no any pedria name.
That's the air conditioning.
AC, yeah, air condition. And then, ote office no. Eduane osmami akoto bre ni nyina ye anwan we aduane nko a. Ene sebi magi aduane nko a. So what you say? Then let's do this way. You see, say when you go to restaurant or you go to a chop bar, now say we crowd near aduane we fear, now say we delay by eating whatever you are eating. So far say a young kwan aduane ye nam aduane. Especially upon chinam ene meat no. Oba won say na won sa echi ha ni nyina ye den. Ada anwa. Wahu
oil
a cake with oil no. Oh say we start aduane na ente sa o. Anania make an on say it thank you. Because the food they brought and served you, it was hot. So all those things, no, you wouldn't see, you wouldn't observe them. But the fact, the moment now, who did now, aduane na jono, obe ho se na face aduane nyina ye den, da omu. Enti me pesa woti ase say, aduane bia ye de bia no, for akoma no to be able to pump well no, anwanwe aduane ne strade aduane no. E was say ye teso de ma akoma no, because akoma no adia efedi akoma no eye entini na moja ni femu no. So when you take all those things, na say entini no konya blockade ya, akoma no entimi nye den, enye adwuma se nye se ye adwuma. And no be who say na won sa no aye otititi. So the person will tell you say, "Dog, I always have numbness when I sit long or I sit like an hour and I don't wake up to at least walk or exercise myself. I have numbness on my leg or I have numbness on my hand and then that kind of thing." It is because enyane na wo didi no sebi esi na wotino ewie bie ni ho ebo skin no so.
Well, Doctor, hold on for me. The numbers are displayed on the screen, so you can come through with your submission. It says 0559792497 and 0559795960. You can call and come through. But so you are talking about how we can prevent high blood pressure. And you mentioned the air conditioners and eating oily or too much spiced foods and all that.
Yes. Simply because whatever you take in, assuming when the food was hot, what made it warm? What made it hot? It was fire.
Yeah.
And inside us, we don't have any gas. We don't have any oven. We don't have any crockpot. We don't have any whatever have you to warm it. There is no heater in our system. Please, are you getting me? So by taking all these things daily and then eating at night as well, and to what did you na jono? Oba wana sabi we funa ye kakraka wenye awobi na wawo. Wosu so asebi enye fibroid bi na ebia eda oyem emema se omu ni fibroid. So what you say? Bobo say bebe bi na anwane srade nko na ahye ne mu.
Well, Doctor, hold on first. We have okay. All right, go ahead. Koso yeti. Okay. Ma ante ho ni bi mo Joseph Sanka bi wo se dey.
Because we say people take over better. I say 135 for normal na control.
Okay. Doctor, Doctor will answer your question for you.
Obi dear say who range between 120, 130. Na sa fe the next time we check it. Na 5 na be so to say na okasa 135 na. Enye na hunu say bia niam nkitinkiti bi wo ho a wo ya frefre yare no ana ade na ye den. Brew. Nya we say whatever we are talking about obi aba understand say each and everybody e blood pressure. So what you say?
It varies.
Yeah, obia will be. Wahu, but as to say what dear no e bro so and a case no. As to say what dear no so no any baby as said that na less and also so risky.
So as he mentioned 135 as
the pressure could how I would start here. E bia no start here na 120 130. And as I see a 135.
And that's the question. So 135 could be normal for someone, but it could be that the person is getting high blood pressure for another person.
Yes.
For someone.
Yes.
Okay, so we have another caller on the line too. From Techiba. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll keep you 8 months. Hello.
Yeah, too.
Pacho me babe 8 months but the kid to form and near my share person who need us all sa de more kind of pressure na say.
Okay. Doctor be you are no doctor. Okay.
Me da say mama na ofre no akola no oni pressure but ehu
8 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Ehu eyeden ewa akola nim. One who say sesia no yen nana no motete niam na nyina na ayira o. So when you come to SO Herbal Center, where I am based, we deal with raw materials. You understand? Simply because then time no, we understand say, a warrior walking, you better tune ni kutoni ade din so be miemia, you be si wo mu di amount. Ye wia, ya so wonsa we, ya so wonan we, ya twetwe. Enti wo be ho say akola no, ya tune ni nyina no, ya kire ne signs and symptoms we say, ye part of nipadua no. But many will say a beer 8 months or ye on tone banner crada.
On tone
crank or soda. On channel.
You hold on with that for me. We have Kwame on the line. Hello, Kwame.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame. Where are you calling from? Bogo, so okay. Okay.
Madam,
thank you.
They told me blood pressure, but the normal one is because me I'm no because there was a time the checking number 115 to 114 down one, which is the normal one.
Okay.
Blood pressure. And I know or check a just kakaman. Oh, say Nippon said it. I'm going to say a car. The president or non excavator the same. It's a command in a range and a pumping oil into the all kinds of one only in a very good.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. But with his question, what is the normal or the ideal figure or number for?
Well, sir, with or no need say no, a biana enhano, but a below pressure. And ideally, no 120. So what you say? 120 and our age ni bin so nipa first say 35 ni say no. E bia na nipa no 35 ra na say no. Say e bia na nipa no.
Doctor, before you answer his question, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please don't listen to yourself on the television set. All right, you can lower the volume or you get away from the TV set so we can have a fluent conversation.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. We are listening. Okay, so I was struggling to hear him properly. The line, I think you have to call back. So you were answering the question, like the ideal or the normal rating for blood pressure.
Maybe 120 or you're okay on face problem, you're on face challenge beer. And now one who says 7 some pressure na ye can one 7 no. Yen daily activity nano account a contribute. So when we are having this pressure issue, sometimes no from 120, 130, 135, 140 no. Me pacho get to know say rise kosoro. Enti se wo didi anadwo a e wo se wo da wa anadwo aduane a wudi. Nipa bebre dwuma any traffic obepon obekwakodu fie late nti no. Odidi late. Odidi late ati se nya na meka se wo didi na se aduane ne dwo a eda wo nsachi ni ade no. Sa na aduane bi a ye di bia no. Ekogu yem. Egu yem ni wie a afei entini no ene peke edema sebi akoma no so moja no enam so na pompi akoma no enti se entini mu blocked by this kind of idea on say sometimes kwa no obetimi ya no the seminar hohoro be 2-3 times and sana oil eyi ni nyina ye den
sometimes you need to wash with some warm water
thank you.
So we have another caller on the line. We will take its submissions then. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Yes, your name and when you're calling from?
Because I'm from Bogoso.
Bogoso, yo, yetio.
Because when I'm welcome, and the crop of men, they were 33 years old. And by week from every Tuesday, and I'm the one Makuma. A bonus of me to move for me. He said, the Bowa, Firoso. I didn't remember that I was a course with no you did a course. If you said I'm saying, no, Papa, but I mean, too, and Mary and I'm maybe any man, and I can't say someone I am a dear quite bad. And now I'm many can say, oh dear, and I'm on Miss Mindy there. I wonder, said then I did back.
Me Pacho, so what drink and Jaya drink, Adwendwen e di BP ba pa e na adwendwen wo ho nso no woni made e te se wo fi class 1 ko class 2 se wo start se wo dwen bia be ma no ho a be ma no won dwen ne ho wie e na wo ye me sei e na wo ye me sei wo be ho na school fees abebom osian hwe ne wo ye me nti no ontene no mu hwe nkola no so school fees won wie school fees ne ho wie na won wie bia no so e fra wo diska sa na adwendwen na ti o enti se wo dwendwen a ade particular wo dwen ho wie na it keep on flowing. So the actual your friend is saying conclude of Adiana Wodreno. And to say me about tie me. Na se namuno ya kekan on the day near the namuno ne de. Emma won't minimum ne sisi. Ah sabi enti me mwa won saye tititia wonya cholesterol this stroke ne yeden. Bro. Ana your friend is so Nendua nyina ye emane ne ade ade nti such a person say no enya dwendwen ni obedwen ena na koma ne be hana enka onko hospital onyare onko me enka chen say wo cholesterol excess ana sabi wo your friend is saying stroke symptoms ana ebia numbness how only that problem no
tell us now, we have a few minutes to wrap up. Tell us about SO Herbal Center, what you do there, the kind of disease that you treat there, your location and
thank you very much. I'm glad people call from Bogoso because I ever stayed at Takwa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was working in Takwa, so all the mining people there, they knew me very well. SO Herbal Center, what we does there is pure herbal. You know, those days, yen herbal na no. Akoya se so bin him say a champon crowd to me ya dear we ya. No, I got to take a champon or de da de nipa. But herbal, you more different, you will dread biani yaria esa. You will stroke ye draw, you will diabetes ye draw, even you will yaria kesia, diabetes, HIV, hepatitis. Sanya mani na you will grow ho. Et is a crack kaki now would you call beer would die. Won't me rad anymore. It is yaria beer how no. So we pay the rightful and the corrected draft. So herba you will be. And the most amazing thing is say we don't prepare our staffs that yet droning in a pure natural and herbal. Natural remedy no. So we don't cook our medicine. Oba the way it's here no sa na ye de mount. And you know, whatever it is, no, say your BP, ya can say because BP, no, my dear brother, a kumni pa bebre. Ye won my penny for bebra, said uka herbala, no mubuefu. But forgetting say yen dian ye try and where she are ye dinning in anum, if we herbamu, and Janina ye dinning in an a baby draw, because also we know the quedru a draw. Ahabani ye de yedro kwedu duane ne hini ye de yedro wodi ekutu yedro na duane yedro na hini ye de yedro wodi bayira na wodi ni kontomre no yedro ema moja ehohuru moja ni mu ebiebie wuntini no ema koma ne yeden enya hoden enti kontomre na wodi ni bayira no yedro aside no bayira no so wodi no na haban na wedro ayede ye me pato what say bayira hunu kwa wedru ayede ye ebro wa sori awie ebro saa or your doctor ni or your scientist or your scholar or that kind of say herbal nye and so forgetting say ndiane na wodi a onya energy e de ko ni book ni ho a osua ni nyina no na nyina efi herbal mu obewi ebro 24/7 and so ebro ni tinwi na egu ni ti so no ye de yakuma ya wedro kese pa ebro no sabi ne pill na ye pele kra no ye wedro ayede ye ena dua na nkasa no ye wedro wan say ebro ne ba flowers na eya eba yi mran ansa na eba na aba no eno so ye dro enti bibia nyankopon abo etwa ye ho ahia nyina no efi fruit so ebedru na ye nua so no ye dro. So please, if they will understand me, no, they should stop limiting God. Say, nyame ensanwe jumana wo ye ya wo de ma ye natural no. Eno mom ye bone, na chemical no na ye papa. Enti ye nduane ye di nyina ye dro. O ye Ghana ni o ye bro ni o ye de abrafo so mo wie bro. Enti heba no mo so mo dibi. Won say ye nuano mo a omo ye Indian foe. Any your other Asian countries be over omomu dealing help on me aduane ne kra ma na mben bebre no the help na yeden aka vegetables na aka ho sankro no mo nyare nko hospital aden na ye de bia ya tiesie bibidro abrofudro so me by obi frame o se on BP nko a o se si an wenya diabetes wenya BP ne be ma ewu me no ka say affecting nani ne kra me na me ka chen say dro na wo nom na ye BP edom it will affect the eye me no ka say o she lens. Because of say whatever will help us no ebia ebetimi ma immune system ni eboost no ye jaya to nchen enti say bibidro wo nya na say ye papa e flush sa chemical ni nyina ni nduane a wadidi a e ma toxins ne eye too much e pale ma akoma ni nyina no e flush ni nyina everybody no e ma wo hu nya den
right enti where can we locate SO Herbal Center?
Thank you very much. SO Herbal Center is located at Amasamai Stadium Junction. Wherever you are coming from
in Accra,
Amasamai Stadium Junction, we are trying and then making all things possible that we will have a branch at Klagon. But yes, still it's not open.
It's not ready.
Yes, it's not ready. But very soon we will be moving to Klagon, having a branch there. But the home of SO Herbal Center is based in Amasamai. So wherever you are coming from, whether you are coming from Achimota, Tema, Kasua, Afienya, whatever, you come through Pokwase. When you get to Amasaman Stadium Junction, alight at the Stadium Junction. Tell the mate or the driver that will patch up Seymour Stadium Junction. When you alight there, just don't cross the road. Descend towards the Stadium Road. And then it's just less than 5 minutes walk to our center. It's an orange building color. Or the Remona Frost Row. Whoever is also coming from Nsawam, Kumasi, Tamale, Boko, Bolega, and those things who are coming from Nsawam side. No. When you alight at Stadium Junction, just cross the road. You will see a taxi rank there. Ask them you are coming to SO Herbal Center. When you come there, we are there, and then whatever is your problem, we will be able to help you.
All right. So are you on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and others? And if you're not, any number that the viewer watching at home can
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have SO Herbal Center. When you go to Facebook and then you click SO Herbal Center, we have some series of teachings that I made myself and I explain, and then you get to know more at SO Herbal Center. So you just go to Facebook and then click SO Herbal Center. We are there for you.
And if anyone wants your number,
if anyone wants my number, please, you can call SO Herbal Center on 0555 52953.
Okay.
055. The 5 is 4. So 055 55 29 253. And then the next number is 050 344 9444. And then we have this one too. 0272 859115.
All right, thank you very much. Dr. Sophia Asi Okanse, she is the CEO of SO Herbal Center located in Amasaman Stadium Junction. And she just said that when you are at Stadium Junction, just about 5 minutes walk and you can get to the location that we just spoke. And we spoke about high blood pressure, BP, hypertension, so many names for just one disease. So you can know how dangerous it is with these many names that we are mentioning. So in all issues, all matters relating to high blood pressure, make sure you go to SO Herbal Center. My name is Francis Kusi. I am the Chairman Junior. This has been the AM Ghana show on Adoatv Television. Of course, today is Friday, so Monday, same time from 6:45 to 10 a.m. we shall return. Make sure you keep safe. Observe all the protocols. COVID-19 is still here. It's not gone yet. So be safe and let's meet on Monday.